We are here, everybody, for Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising Top 8 here at VSFighting in Birmingham. It has been an absolutely stellar tournament so far, and we are going to be rounding off what has been an amazing ARC World Tour Gold Plus event. I am Viram, and of course with me, Naihu. How are we doing tonight?
We're doing fine here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a hyped crowd here on VSFighting! For today's top 8, yesterday we had a long day of Granblue, 4 pulls into top 24. We didn't see the last game of top 24 yesterday. It was Arifu versus S1. Arifu won here earlier on, 3-1. So we're going to have him against Durekov on loser side. But if we go again a bit on this top 8, we're going to have here Skill and Saki prepping up for the first game on winner semis. Afterwards, we're going to have Space, Citizen, and then on losers, Pepe and Gideon. Are you ready, Viram, for all of those action?
Of course. We have been ready. I think everybody here is ready. We have been waiting and we have been primed. Let's hear some noise if you guys here in the venue are ready. That's what I like to hear. Of course, our first set is going to be Saki versus Skill on the winner's side. Both these two absolute titans of European Granblue. Skill probably in contention for the best in Europe right now. I think many would agree. Was the first seed of this tournament as well. Saki absolutely Mr. Consistent right now as well. A string of second placements. Had that third place at crossover last week, but still absolutely incredible player and has been working really hard in order to try to overcome Skill in this upcoming set.
And what's like kind of unfortunate here in this matchup is that we saw that Saki had a lot of trouble against the stories here proposed from Skill, in, for example, Heist and Crash and OTB as well. So we have to see if he had checked in buttons, if he labbed the matchup, if he found some new tech. I don't know if he's going to go for the Charlotta or for the Catalin that is a bit weaker in his word against stories. So we have to see here what he's going to pick. But it's going to be a great first game here.
That will be. I actually do think that we might see a decent amount of the Charlotta in this top 8. Because obviously, Catalina, the character who has taken Saki this far over the past year or so. But the Charlotte has always been a presence within his arsenal, especially, you know, if you go back all the way to base game, that was his main character for all of base game. Shifted away from Charlotte, wasn't really too keen on how she interacted with the game, but still has her there, still has her at a very, very high level. And, you know, if you're not ready for Charlotte, you miss that one anti-air on a jump and she just gets go to town.
She can get so much out of those little anti-air because it's just so hard to keep track of the little potato flying around all the screen with all of this ball, just the demon flips as well. It's just a very good rushline character that, of course, Pocky has in his pocket. But again, it just depends on how he wants to play here. If he wants to go a bit slower against the Catalina, trying to poke out the Soris. But of course, Soris also has excellent ways to go in with all of those punches and keep the pressure tight, which Catalina can have some trouble dealing with. But, you know, who doesn't have trouble dealing with Skill?
Like very few people can say that they have taken solid tournament sets against Skill. He is definitely the one to beat at the moment. We see Saki on the Charlotta at the moment, of course. They love to bait us out on these button checks. I even heard Willness get selected briefly on the character select screen.
Oh, Willness that we saw yesterday on Gideon, my man.
Yes. We will most certainly be seeing him coming up later. Are we button checking or are we getting straight into things? Saki versus Skill. Winners semis here at VSF 13. Top 8 for Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising.
Do some noise in the room, chat! Starting up here. Already starting pretty strongly on Skill side. Already starting the round here in the corner. Mixing up some plus moves. Ending the turn here so Saki can take something back.
Right, gets a knockdown on the H-ball. Now it's time for Saki to apply the pressure. Getting those just guards to build up that meter.
Ooh, nice little spacing there on the H impact knuckles. Nice little punish there again. Skill so good with that runners, with that kick there. Just checking a lot of moves. That's why the Catalina can match up pretty hard for him. Nice little reversal here.
Yeah, not allowing Saki to establish that momentum. Good break on the grab as well. More plus frames coming out from Saki, but the 6-2-3-H, the immediate reversal with the roundhouse fang. Saki answers back with the L Holy Ladder in response. Saki just looking for that opportunity to really get the ball rolling. Pardon the pun right there, but Saki gets a huge jump. No combo afterwards.
Slowing down the game here, trying to attract Skill over here and to find an opening there. Nice little spot dodge, but chip will almost be a factor. This is out here.
Forever pure, forever righteous on that offense, forcing Skill into the corner. All he needs is one solid hit, but Skill forcing his way out.
Oh, nice to go there, and oh!
The walk-up SSBA, and it doesn't
yeah,
beat
yeah,
the DP. So much invul on that Sora's DP. It's definitely one of the best in the game.
Yeah. Allows him to get a free side swap to go for some mix-up afterwards, but it's so active, he can beat out so many moves again. The kick here punishing the H-bow. Saki have a lot of trouble to closing the distance.
Yeah, very few characters are able to punish the H-ball mid-screen. It usually keeps you outside of that far light range, but the 6-2-3-8, the H-roundhouse fang of Sora is able to punish it and able to get the extra damage. Big throw as well.
And going to side something in the corner, but Saki gets out with the BC instantly. Trying to maintain some close pressure. Skill stern, dropping the combo here to go for the plus frames.
Now Saki out of BP, the instant one-hit confirm from the 2M straight into the U Impact Knuckles. Skill taking that first game in a very strong fashion.
And here, that's the problem that I wanted to tackle a bit early on, because Skill, of course, knows very well how to play against Saki's pressure. It's almost like Skill is made to play against Saki. He just have to change his game plan a lot, because he's a more defensive type of character, reserved, trying to go for the best risk reward here, but Skill just manages to force Saki to do mistakes, chip him out bit by bit, and here he doesn't even get the punish, even though he got the read on the jump.
Yeah, we're seeing Saki go for these space neutral jumps, trying to coax Skill into going for those Impact Knuckles, but great bait on the DP, gonna get the full corner carry there. Nope, doesn't go for the 2-2-U. Doesn't extend beyond the sort of Lumiel either.
Yeah. So here traps himself in the corner, but he has a nice life advantage straight to BC.
Wow, actually whiffed the H Rock Smash right there, not allowing Saki to get the BC afterwards. Nice counter poke with the far light and a conversion of the Sword of Lumiel.
Here going to the install, restoring a little bit of life thanks to the 2 stocks here, but need to be watch out because ironically this could move could kill here for both players, but Saki takes out the first round here. He's not out.
A brave and righteous throw to put Skill on the ground. Saki taking his first round of the set, hoping to get even more from here.
Oh, nice little catch there on the jump with the back knuckles. Close out the distance a bit, keeping the pressure tight. A nice 5U there from Saki, side swapping.
Yeah, first time that's been presented so far in this set. Definitely something that Skill is going to need to look out for, and gets the conversion off of the L Shining Onslaught into the full combo. Let's get the hit into the Oki with the Demon Flip. Very nice on the throw.
Tries to go for a little rare jump through there on Oki setup. Nice little bait out of the BC.
Just out of range to get that far medium. That would have been it, and that is going to be the conversion. Go straight into the RS and Skybound art here. The brilliant moon to get Saki that first game that he ever so needed.
So now that he got the information here in first game and he got the second game, maybe he can still go and keep on with that momentum. Trying to go maybe to a 2-1 or maybe 3-1. But we'll have to see, because Skill is of course very, very good at slowing down the game and trying to force again mistakes on the opponent.
That he is, that he is. Saki is going to try to make as few mistakes as possible. But when you have a player of Skill's caliber, it is difficult to avoid all of those mistakes. Nice 6XM right there.
This is here, to slow down a bit. Nice little jump there that still hasn't been checked by Skill, but of course real hard to anti-air the low ball there. Especially since Saki is picking out this jump timings very precisely, but here the whiff punish on the 2M with the 6XL, allowing him to go into the corner. Oh!
Attack on the throw. Fighting his way out with that 6XL, so important for Soros to be able to do that. Beautiful spacing again, like the way that Skill is using these 6XLs, just spacing out the defensive options from Saki. Goes over the 6XL this time using the H Noble strategy, and that's going to lead to a KO.
So SBA here, he's taking the round here. Saki now has advantage.
Very, very nice.
Battle 2, engage.
As we continue on with this set, it's looking more and more like the Charlotta might be the answer that Saki has been searching for all this time.
Jump here in sync, but nice little punish here, calling out the Impact Knuckles with the jump. Extending fully in the corner, going for the funny little combo with the Holy Ladder.
It goes for the, I believe, the light Noble strategy that time, for a slightly different timing on the meaty. Oh, but you Holy Ladder doesn't want to hold anything.
Very risky here, but Saki has the life advantage. He can allow himself to do some mistake and some risky move. Oh! Saki, Skill, sorry, doesn't get the full conversion here. Going for some cheap damage. Still spending that BC to stay in the corner. Keeping it tight. Plus frames, plus frames.
More plus frames on the side of skill. Great answer from Saki. Huge amount of chip coming out from the use sword of Lumiel.
And now Saki can fully play his game. He has a life advantage. Shivo soon be a factor. But Skill dropping this opening that he had. And Saki going for the H only ladder. Taking the third game here.
That was such a bold match from Skill. It almost paid off to even up the rounds. But Saki now taking the lead 2-1 here.
Unfortunately, he didn't have the BC because he just wanted to use it on this 2-1 for you, 2-1 for H to, you know, get the guaranteed BC out to try and take some momentum. But I feel like Saki is trying to use this at his advantage to force mistakes on skill side and make sure that he stays low on resources so he doesn't, so he's not able to cash out in those very precious moments.
Exactly.
We got here on the skill side. Catches a jump attempt there. So BC they even gets a cooldown. Hard out here.
Again, good BC, gonna take those plus frames. And it felt like that time Skill was looking for that jump, just not quite in the position. Nice punish on the H roundhouse fang. That is actually -8 now, so Saki could have gone for a medium, but keeps it close with the light. Gets the hard knockdown off the command grab.
I absolutely love that combo, and again, no! Doesn't get the full punish on the whiff punish.
Nice contest with the far light right there. This is going to be enough meter to get to FBA, and Saki now 1 round away to moving to winners finals.
Saki playing an immaculate game here, just making sure he has the nice little spacing to force Skill into doing those 2 M's of 6XL. That's got Skill. Saki has been doing a very great job at whiff punishing.
Great round start from Skill this time though, and I love that. Again, Saki realizing that Skill didn't really have any cooldowns to abuse his offense, and as a result goes for the challenge right there.
Maintain his advantage here a little bit. Bit of a light deficit, but it is alright because now it's Saki's turn to do something here. Nice 6XL from Skill side, extending with the meter here.
Double up the roundhouse fangs, get that full extension, massive damage coming out for Skill.
Nice little finding of BC there, almost got left right by the jump in. We also the overhead with the demon flip.
Oh, that is punishable. Scary for Saki, didn't actually get that confirmed. Now out of DP, but all it's going to take is one more throw. Is he going to get it? On a spot dodge, but no! The spot dodge is not meaty enough to avoid the full sword of Lumiel, and Saki is going to take that 3-1 to move on to winners finals.
Excellent here. Lost the first game, but it was not letting him get to his head. Just went back to character screen, just to breathe out a little bit. It was all that it needed for him to do a reverse 3.
Yeah, very, very clean play from Saki. Just really, really good with the risk-reward management in the latter half of that set, especially just understanding when to challenge, when to go for those counter pokes, using the far light beautifully in order to contest that offense from Skill and get those big conversions, maintain that offense, and eventually, of course, lead to the set win right there. Great stuff. Next up, of course, on winner's side, we are going to be having Citizen versus Space.
So, of course, winner of crossover last weekend and also second place at crossover last weekend. So it's going to be a sort of rematch here in this very, very important game here to go into winners finals in this top 8. I felt like Citizen really likes to do those little blind picks here against people that have multiple characters. So we saw it earlier yesterday with Dudakov. He went for the character pick, for the blind pick. I don't know if he's going to opt for that one. Who knows?
Yeah, we may just simply see a run back of what we saw at crossover. You know, last time we saw the Cagliostro from Space coming out versus the Siegfried from Citizen, and actually earlier today, Citizen was labbing with the Siegfried versus Cagliostro to make sure that he was as ready for that matchup as possible. Both these players, of course, throughout this bracket have predominantly been using Beatrix, but I don't think either of them quite wants to play the mirror, it's likely what we are going to see coming up. Of course, last time Space was the victor in that matchup, winning, I believe, 3-0, 3-1 in Grands of crossover.
It was a very, very dominant way of taking the whole bracket there with his Cagliostro. So here, going to go into a little button check. So we have to see if they mix us up by picking the wrong character.
It is also worth noting that Space has been looking incredibly... He's been looking in absolute prime form throughout this whole bracket. I believe the only player who hasn't dropped a single game so far.
Ooh, that's a pretty strong feat. And again, we can see the players just going off to production here on the side too.
Oh no, I stand corrected. He dropped one game earlier in the bracket to Grum.
Oh, yeah, okay.
One game.
Unless it's not Instagram, so going back here for the little character blind pick. And he hasn't. Okay, for some reason I saw him hovering over Jita and I was like, yeah, he's going to pick Jita, but no.
That character's long gone.
That's long gone. That was a while ago since he had the last pick for Jita, right?
Yeah. As is this character. This character's also long gone. Lucilius, you're not going to see him actually pick this character. Most Lucilius players are long gone off the character. He is not viable enough in the eyes of most players anymore, but no, he still has a small handful of loyalists.
Stuck in the mid-tier cage here because, of course, earlier in the game he was so strong that it's so easy, in a way, to building those blade levels, but now he has to put a bit more thought into which skill we want to use at each point, so it's kind of discouraged some people of picking Lucilius.
Yep.
Lucifer.
Yeah, because he's not able to build up the blade levels as quickly through whiffing or the specials on block.
Yeah.
It means that he usually, if he has the momentum and he's winning, he probably doesn't build to blade level 5 anyway because he just kills them before he reaches blade level 5.
See some button checks, of course. Very important here to see which button that the players like to check because I feel like it tells a lot about the player himself.
Some players don't check. I feel like some players just, they don't check their buttons. They just kind of press stuff. You know, they just want to do like a combo or something, just get a feel. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
See the traps work. Both players here ready. Going back here to character selection, we'll see which character they picked blindly to each other. So it's a Caglioso here on space side. And Citizen going to go for the Siegfried, yes.
Yep.
The crowd really likes to see here the Siegfried, of course. Did a lot of job for him early on the rising. I mean, on the game that is rising. Really good at reacting with that SBA. We even saw last weekend that Space was really playing great against that threat that he could at any point be SBA'd in the face. Even managed, allowed him to get the final hit by baiting out with the 5U. So we'll have to see if Space can do the same stuff that he done last weekend or if Citizen has some new plans and new tweaks in his strategy here on the second game of top 8 winners. Ooh.
Good round start, and again, we were mentioning this yesterday, but Space really is the king of 6XL round start. He always manages to get that victory in that position. Huge back throw coming out from Space as well, gonna get the combo off the 6XH.
Send here quite quickly in the corner, getting one stack here on the walk. Nice snow pickup there from the far L into the Alexandria. Getting fully here and getting the first round very, very fast, even in a perfect way. Space, great showing here.
Absolute dominant first round from Space. How will Citizen answer back?
You see here, we get to 6XL first. Oh no, this has to back up a little bit here. So H fireball here. Buy out some space. H there on block. Nice pop dodge. Throw it, of course. Far H afterwards. Ooh.
Willing to go for that trade right there. That Space not able to actually establish any real momentum at the moment. And blocks with the 6XLs. I know that Citizen is going to look for big 6XM right there, but an immediate contest from Space, close enough to the corner to get the U Alexandria full corner carry.
Nice little side slap here at the end, using 4 resources here to get the maximum amount of damage. There's still a trap there, so Citizen has to watch out when he wants to get out of the corner. He didn't confirm out that far because he would have been traded, and ooh, the jump U, the infamous. And for some plus frames, his PC is out.
I said though, Space only on 1 BP. He does have to be careful. One big hit from Citizen would do it, but that's not going to matter right now. Space keeping it controlled and composed and taking that first game over Citizen.
Here we have to see. Citizen keeps on playing this Siegfried. Looks like Space is fully ready to take on the big body. That is Siegfried, a very scary character. So, still sticking to it. Why not? We have to see which he wants to propose something else that he hasn't had the opportunity to propose yet. Nice little spear there under the projectiles. Ooh, nice jump in from Citizen. Getting something started here on his side.
Yeah, he realized that a lot of the ground approaches weren't quite working for him, so chooses to engage in the air. And yeah, despite the big swing of the Verdrangen, it doesn't actually get rid of the seals on the ground as you would expect it to.
Big awkward combo there, and ooh, the kind of missed anti-air, but still get some damage in, get the side swap here, but back into the main screen. Space spinning out some DC here to keep the Citizen away, but himself finds something here with the 6XL RL, extending fully here, going back a bit closer to that sweet, sweet zone.
Now peppering once again the blocks with those 6XLs. Citizen just backing off, doesn't want to engage with the traps at all, doesn't want to allow space to get out the corner for free, but there's the 2U SSBA, not in range to get the cinematic and drain the BP.
So, excellent spot dodge here on the spear. And Citizen the check with the Firelight while Space was trying to reset his pressure with the 6XL. Citizen still not out and getting here a good first round on the second game.
Yeah, it's important to introduce those checks against a player like Space. Can't let him get into too comfortable a rhythm with those 6XLs, but Space, such a seasoned veteran of competitive gaming. What a block on the DP! The first one of the set, Space is ready.
Cute little bumble here to side swap here. Back to the corner. Nice little anti-air with the close edge of proximity range. Still decided to keep the Citizen locked in that corner. Now the check on wake up here, going to HDP.
Citizen desperately needed that check, needs a little bit of a break from this corner, but still can't find his way out properly. He's been stuck and slammed right here, and Space is going to take the round.
Very impressive because we saw Citizen being able to, like, you know, contest a lot of stuff that Space has been doing, but his life is still so high up. Space doing an excellent job at capitalizing off of those mistakes, just like this one. Excellent footies here, with the 6XL going for the shimmy, extending even more here into the corner. Woo.
Yeah, Space is looking exceptionally comfortable right about now. This time, Citizen gets the bait on the DP, able to run all the way in and get that close heavy, something that he was struggling with a little bit at crossover before.
So, Citizen decided here to keep with the Uwe cooldown, but it doesn't matter too much because now he's stuck into the corner. Very dire situation in here, Space again with the Farrell. Citizen here getting shimmied by something in Space, going up to, oh, Jesus, whoa.
Yeah, Citizen tried to challenge out with the far light of his own. To no avail, unfortunately. Are we getting a break on the character select screen, or is Citizen truly considering a different character here?
We even got the crowd here yelling the Beatrix. So it's going off here. Changing his little settings there for the SBA inputs. Fully ready here and up. Going up for the for the Beatrix here against Cagliostro. I would argue it's a way better matchup here for Beatrix, but of course on the other side we got also a Beatrix specialist. So it's going to be very hard for Citizen to apply something that Space does not know in this matchup.
We'll have to wait and see.
Ooh, which
the
song?
Yes. Music pick going for Zeta's theme, Arves. Mixed responses from the crowd, it seems.
Don't know who he here likes Arves. If people like this song here, I want a lot of noise in the crowd. Respectable amount of noise, yeah.
Believe in victory.
Beatrix here going up in this 2-0 deficit. We have to see if Citizen can do something here. Trap there to start off the offense. SM6XL again, so good. Contesting the space in front of him. Woo!
Catches, Citizen trying to escape, but finally the 2U lands his mark.
Ooh, should be spot dodge on the 2M attempt to not allow Citizen to do something. Ooh, the spot dodge, yeah.
Great recognition from Space right there to get the throw immediately afterwards.
Ooh, try to contest it to get the little trade of ROH, and he's the one winning out here, going back to the mid-screen. To do something, find an opening. Nice little block there, and the 2U checking the Space's feet.
Yeah, that would have potentially been an opportunity to get a huge hit for Citizen right there. The air, H teleport leaves Kag in a bit of a vulnerable position.
Team Space very, oh no, wanted to say. Was looking at a very dire situation. We know SBA and Citizen with the clock, but doesn't matter too much here because he finds a nice opening and going out set point here.
Yeah, any hit into a clock combo probably would have been the round for Citizen, but yeah, Space now at set points is really struggling to find any substantial momentum here.
So you see there, Space very inclined to keeping the Citizen away. Excellent with punish here with the 2M. Just making sure that it doesn't get to approach the huge trap. Checking the H Thunderbird. Look at all of this damage here. Cute little setup there, but getting DC out. No! Citizen!
Too early on the throw, not able to get that hit, and the 6XL, great contest by Citizen with the 6XL, and now it's chance to mount the comeback so organically. with this SSBA.
Doing a lot of damage and making sure that Space has no more BC to play against. So yeah, so it's going to have to mash a lot of stuff. But here Citizen getting the excellent pickup. While Space was trying to mash very hard to get out of the dire situation. Citizen still not out and the crowd goes crazy.
Brought it all the way back with two well-found lights. Citizen still alive here on the winner's side. Now going to try to keep that momentum going with that 6XL opener extended a little bit further forward in order to be able to get the round start victory this time.
Oh, nice little double back dash here, but spot dodging both the trap and oh, the missed out BC attempt from Citizen. Going to be thrown into the corner. A lot of trouble getting out of here because Space doing an excellent job at checking the assumption. Nice, no 6XL, but no! Jumps the combo!
Oh, but Space not close enough to get the close medium, and that's going to beat the cancel. Citizen spending all that meter. Didn't actually drain the BP there either.
Wow.
The Thunderbird goes over.
Wow.
Space not ready to answer yet. The whiff, probably supposed to be maybe a U fireball, but wasn't managing the meter. Maybe a 2U. But the clip right there, and that is going to be the set. Space advancing to winners finals 3-0 over Citizen.
Saw at the end that he had some momentum. Even I almost want to say that he let himself get hit a little bit at some point to, you know, get into that clock range, the organic combat that it helped him really well. But Space made a really good job at playing around his health range so that it leaves Citizen out of the clock. But once he is in, once he finds the first hit that he can, getting the kill, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was incredibly strong showing from Space. We will be moving on to the loser's side of things. I believe we're going to be having Arafu versus Dudikov first things, or are we going to be having Pepe first? Pepe coming up to the setup, so we're going to be having Pepe versus Gideon. And Gideon is here. He was playing Strive a little bit earlier. Of course, this guy good at multiple games.
Oh, yeah.
Playing the Slayer in Strive, playing the Willness in this. Two birds of a feather in terms of character archetypes. Of course, Willness, brand new character. Been out for a little over a week now,
yeah.
And you know, Gideon already showing that character strength here at VSF.
We'll have to see if Pepe did this great job at labbing out the first layers of this character, because we saw yesterday implant that Gideon is going for is to really, at least against Lowain, it was to like close the distance with the M-knee to get some pickups. And once he got some really big hit, you could see that he had some optimals here and there to do a lot of damage. But even if you're not fully optimal, that boy hurts a lot. So
yes. Even on the regular damage, you know, single hit confirms into the Hadron Smash. Even that move on block does a lot of chip damage. It's really scary to even just block out that character. So, you know, how Pepe is able to deal with the Willness from Gideon is really going to tell the tale here. Belial, not usually a character that plays a very kind of slow, pensive game. He usually wants to kind of rush you down, get that one opening, and then just apply that constant pressure. But against Willness, you may need to change up that pace.
Willness is just very good at playing this defensive tank game, waiting for like an opportunity to strike hard and hot. But we'll have to see if Pepe, you're just going to like play a bit at a distance, try to figure out what Willness wants to do. But of course, the M-knee is always a factor. Even H-knee that is plus on block, which allows Gideon to keep on with his pressure. Just very interesting game here. And it's like a very cool addition to the cast because he's just such a unique character with such unique strengths and weaknesses. And it's just a nice way to switch up the dynamics that we are used to see here in this game.
Yeah, particularly when it comes to defending against a character. I think that is what a lot of people have been struggling with so far. You know, we haven't really had a character that's focused on grounded high-low mix. That's something that we haven't really seen. You know, a lot of the fuzzy overhead stuff from previous patches, with characters like Grimmir, Zeta, all of that jazz. You know, it's been a completely different type of offense.
Of course. It's kind of funny to see that they got rid of the F-Shikis before just to give it a sort of like 50-50 integrated into Willness kit. It's a fun way to see how they want to like build the characters, right? Because, for example, before Grimmir didn't really need 50-50. You also had a lot of straight, like, good tools, and Zeta was just a good all-rounder overall. So here, on the Willness, we're just interesting to see what type of archetype they want to go with. Here, button check was done. Both players already. Got to hear a bit of the crowd. I don't know if the chat can hear the crowd very well, but they are loud. Can you get some noise for Gideon in the crowd, please? But Yelling which song they want to hear again at party people. Yeah, the crowd being very happy here with the lower representation. But of course, we can't just yell for one player. So I want a lot of noise as well for Pepe! Carl all the way back there in the crowd, making sure the crowd goes in with, with all of those chants here. So Pepe against Gideon, first game on the loser's side of top 8.
How oddly fitting that we get Luane's theme here after Gideon's warpath through the Luane, gets the enemy to start but doesn't convert anything.
And of course,
frames, and there's the overhead already. Pepe getting opened up. You know how to block this. Oh, okay, so yeah, that's the next layer. Of course, Gideon just going straight for the 2L there. Pepe this time not holding anything, and is instead going to get the side switch combo.
Maybe Belial has like great tools to deal with all of the stuff that Wilmes want to do and want to represent in the corner, because of course you got the 50-50s, but it's still a slow move which Belial can very consistently contest with his far edge, and here nice little interrupt there of the M-knee.
Woo! Another M-knee coming out, Gideon underturn, block on the overhead, and a good punish with the throw coming out from Pepe. How does he layer the offense?
So of course here the dynamic here with Wilmes is that he can go for the high with the 5U, but it's like throw punishable. But if he goes for the 2-1-4M, it's still plus, but here, nice little 2-2U. And
that was not a safe jump. Great recognition from Pepe to get the anti-air SBA. That's going to do a lot of damage, leaving him on a sliver.
Going for some chip here, making sure that he stays in. Gideon going for the wrong skill, and Pepe just keeping his distance, and nice little punish there with the go here, going for the second round.
Thing is, I don't think there was anything that Gideon could have done to actually avoid that fireball right there.
Yeah. Especially since Wilnes isn't really good at moving around the space because he's kind of slow, doesn't have a run. Oh, look at this H-knee here doing a lot of job. Nice!
Very nice use of the Uvasago against the parry right there. Gideon not wanting to hold anything, just immediately DPing.
No, the launch forward. Pepe was caught trying to mash something into it. Here, for this little slower game, the low roll here getting checked out by Pepe with the far L. Goes for the safe job here. There's the mash again.
Right into the U-Hatron smash, gets the full corner combo as a result. Not quite going to get the KO after the drop. Unfortunate for Gideon right there. Pepe is in a real tough spot, a sliver of life versus Wilnes. And look at all the chip from the Hadron smash. One more block and it's going to be it. Nice use of the JU to avoid. And you know that his knee is coming, but Pepe is ready with the fireball.
The little jump here with, the jump that was kind of intended because just playing into so much stuff into him.
What a fantastic Uvasago right there. Such a good option in that situation. Able to parry any attacks, able to involve at the connection of the grab. Pepe taking that first game.
For some reason, I feel like Pepe is just so good in this tournament at playing around this cheap range because, of course, the opponents can do anything to kill, but they, of course, try to figure out what's the best option. But Pepe is just ready to play with that fear into their head.
So a real strong start for Gideon this time round. Lock on the overhead, not close enough to get the throw punish though.
Yeah. Here, going for some safe pressure. Nice little backdash there, not allowing Gideon to get any sort of reset. Oh, that's the combo again here with the U great here. Gideon staying here. Nice block low. That's TP. Pepe is ready to deal with all of those 50-50s. And woo!
Gets the hit right there. Probably going to convert this into the SSBA.
Oh yeah, decides to, keep the BP economy on his side, but still going to do a lot of damage. Gideon will be staying here and very close, very low health. Next throw can kill, next interaction can lose big here for Pepe.
That's it though, this is still scary for what a DP on reaction right there. Excellent stuff coming out from Pepe. I was going to say it was still scary for Pepe right there because any good mash would have led into a full confirm into the U-Hatron smash side swap, and that would have been the kill if Gideon capitalized. Nice punish, but not in a position to really capitalize.
Look at that very solid DNB just from the far edge into the corner. Almost killing out all of the spacing, going to the other side. Nice punish there on the jump U.
Oh, what a mash coming out from Pepe right there. Gonna go all the way up, another into U fireball, get him all the way to the corner.
Yes, to the other side, as you just said. Trying to knock at the door, trying to find an opening, but it's just a BC that goes out. Another BC on the other side. Trying to play a bit of a distance gain here, making sure Willis doesn't get to open up something, but DC will be out. Let's block low.
Woo! Wow, dash straight in and goes for the grab this time. We haven't really seen many throws from Gideon. Both plays at 1 BP. Next hit could potentially decide a nice roll.
Still, dangerous game here. Gideon is playing super aggressive and is going to find the UI smash, but doesn't get to pick up afterwards. Ah!
Tracks him down, seeks him out, using that U-lava swipe. Doesn't want to allow the backdash to happen. Pepe been using those backdashes so well to play around that range. And there's another M volcanic knee from across downtown.
They're just jumping, they're just dancing around each other, but now Pepe is going to find a hit. Nice little MDP here from Gideon's side. Going to break out a bit of Pepe's offense. Excellent response here, Pepe as well.
Attack on the throw.
Woo! Check
yeah. That's something that Gideon loves to do on defense a lot. He likes to go for the delay mash into the immediate mash to contest you trying to catch the delay mash the next time.
And just does a lot of work here for Wildness. He's able to side swap and throwing the opponent into the corner. Ooh, again, the launch forward here. Once again, going for the Hero Hydron Smash. Not sure if there was the right call to go back to the mid-screen. Still doing a lot of damage here, Pepe, in a dire situation.
Yeah, goes aggressive with the 668 right there. Big DP, but not enough to get the KO just yet. Nice with punish.
Is he on chip point? The Hydron Smash put him exactly on chip point. It feels like I don't see the health blinking.
What a whip punish on the volcanic knee right there. He's going to get the full extension with the fireball. No, going to go for the RSRC. Basketball dribbles. 1, 2, 3. Should be enough. And there it is. 2-0 now for Pepe.
I can't believe it. I keep looking at the health. I feel like he got hit specifically and precisely on that chip. Of course, again, Pepe using this to his advantage. You get a nice swift punish on M knee. Woo! Okay, take the punish there on the jump view.
Nice DP again from Pepe. He's been so on point with a lot of these. Huge counter on the far heavy. Going to extend with the double fireball routes. No, get the reset instead.
Oh, again. Now Gideon, you can see that he's being a bit more tempted to using those reversals on block to not allow Pepe, but Pepe, he using them on reaction very carefully. Ooh, nice little trade there with the Goetia and the 2M.
Yeah, something that Pepe has been doing very well. He's been reaction checking the cancels incredibly well, but he hasn't been reacting to the dashes. That said though, he's got more than enough in the tank to get the KO here.
Pepe doing an excellent job playing against all of Wildness' weaknesses, putting him here at set point again.
Right. Very nice stuff from Pepe so far. How is Gideon going to respond?
Ooh, with a little contest here with a 2L to a 5L. Again, Pepe, so not scared to contest it again. Nice weave punish on the 2M. He knows the distance is hardwired into his brain now.
Yeah, gorgeous spacing coming out from Pepe again with punishing that 2M. Gideon may need to start having to opt for the 2Us instead. A little bit riskier, but it will have that extra range to deal with these spacing traps from Pepe. Pepe now 1 hit away from advancing here on the loser side of top 8.
We'll have to see if he wants to go for a bit of Street Fighter 6 loops. Now, Gideon finding a nice jump out. Going for the positioning, and again, nice whiff punish here on the close stage, and Pepe advancing and taking Gideon out of the tournament. So an excellent job from Gideon here. Very good showcase here of how scary Wildness can be.
Pepe popping up on the stage as he should be. Vamos, young man. Moving on to the next round here in top 8. Gideon bowing out at a very respectable 7th place. But yeah, I think just a lot of that really boiled down to how Pepe was responding to a lot of those cancels. Almost, I think every single one of those DPs hit its mark.
Yes.
Because of those great young man reactions coming out from Pepe. Really, really good showcase in how to deal with Wildness right there.
I mean, it did show yesterday that Gideon himself showed that he had a good layer 1, right, with all of this cancel, but Pepe felt like he did a very good job at just watching back those sets, trying to figure out how does Gideon want to represent scariness, you know, or something like this. But of course, as you just said, very good job at representing that no, you just don't get to play the game freely, especially against someone as solid as Pepe, because once he has the game plan, once he has the reads, it's of course very hard to take back, especially on a character who you don't fully know yet, right?
Exactly, exactly. Just Pepe, it was a clear blend of Pepe's just fundamental comfortability and awareness on the Belial, as well as that little bit of extra time taken to understand and be able to effectively respond to the Wildness Layer 1. Right, coming up next, of course, we have Arifu versus Dudakov. Mr. 4th place versus Mr. 5th place here. That said, though, of course, Dudakov coming off of a great win off the boat at Sodium Showdown. Big ups to the boat, of course. Arifu, meanwhile, definitely wants to keep pushing here in this top 8. Had that real close set versus S1, able to take it 3-1. Didn't have that streamed, of course, but it was, as anyone who was watching that set could tell you that it was a real good back and forth. S1 almost managed to take it to 2-2.
Yeah.
Went for that bold run-up SSBA, but Arifu didn't bite. He's such a patient, composed player at all times, for the best or for the worst.
Well, we didn't get like the fully fledged on stream for it, but we did add a little phone stream here made by Haz, which was able for him to. Oh, it's about to check. Why am I getting mixed up every time? He's not playing Lowain, right?
No.
No. No.
Oh, of course it's about check.
Woo! Thank you guys. I don't want to see a Dudakov on Lowain, bro.
Look, I've seen many Dudakov characters in tournament. I've seen, of course, the Matera, the Seox, the Ladiva, the Lucilius. I've never seen the tournament Lowain coming out from Dudakov. He wouldn't pull it out here.
Nah.
Especially not against someone as fundamentally sound as Arifu.
You're so good at this. Checking up that he can go to the right pretty well. Checking for the SBA. Them buttons are ready. We'll have to see if he goes for the Metera or the Seahawks, but we did see yesterday that...
Oh, definitely Metera.
Of course, yeah. Wanted to tackle that subject because lately, Metera has been doing better meta-wise here in the game compared to Seahawks. And of course, he's been doing a very great job yesterday at taking out a lot of Wayne players on his route. Did lose a game to Fitizen, but you know, kind of happens sometimes, and it's still very solid. Second. Don't know if I hear the crowd booing.
No, they're cheering for Lowain's team. Lowain's team, I'm pretty sure, was selected again.
Okay. I was confused a little bit. But here, going up here for the losers. Second.
Oh no, then we got the Sandalphon team instead.
And okay, yeah.
This is a very good thing.
Check out here with Sour Rage, but there's the projectile here. Deleting Rain Arrow. Arifu trying to play his game a little bit here. Being very active. I love here. Nice still projectile here, catching the hop, but of course Dudakov going for the backdash on Oki.
We're seeing a lot of fireball play between these two. Both, pretty much all of the damage so far has been from projectiles. Arifu now advancing forward.
Arifu decides to go here for the very early fire stance, even though he's going to eat a lot of damage, but if he finds an opening like this, he can trap the rat here into the corner. If he finds a big feat, he's going to cash out to a lot of damage. Going to go for some classic tractor situation for now. Going for the TU fireballs that it really loves to do. The spot dodges. Very clean.
Nice catch with the far light, able to get that evasive hop. Has to cut this combo a little bit short because it was an anti-air hit, but Arifu still with the momentum right now.
Very good job at not allowing Dudakov to escape with the, the run-up check 2L. I feel like Arifu is kind of stuck in base game with this run-up 2L because here in Rising is negative, but he's finding such a lot of stuff out of it. Making sure that Dudakov doesn't get away freely. Going to play the fireball rain with the fireball game. Doesn't run to the rain. How are you? You can see that he's doing a very good job playing around all of the projectiles, making sure he can roll in at specific moment this cancel that Dudakov is doing. Hard time.
Despite how much Dudakov was pressing in the corner, looked like he was having a hard time. Finally, the 668 of all buttons is what helped get him out. The JU trading with that far medium right there.
Still Dudakov, having a very hard time getting something started on his side, but maybe this fireball will be the beginning. You can see him getting the space little by little, catching the backdash attempt here with the U arrow. Nice spot dodge as well. I feel very happy pressing that fireball button because that's something that Dudakov is doing. Again here, nice spot dodge.
Despite how long Dudakov has kind of been pinned to this side of the screen, and he hasn't really established too much of an immediate advantage. I was going to say, but doesn't get the link off the 6H.
Yeah, it was an excellent punish there, but still getting the pickup afterwards. Confirming here, Arifu, very solid looking Sendaphone taking the first game.
Yeah, Dudikov spent a lot of that first game in that right side corner, but was playing defense incredibly well up until the end. It kind of crumbled a little bit, and against a character like Sandokan, when he has the resources, that is not what you want to happen. Amazing composure so far from both players. Dudikov just taking a moment, not wanting to leap straight back into things.
Both players here keeping their hands warm and ready to press on them big buttons, going here straight into the second game. Nice little check there on the roll. MDP right straight off the bat. Nice little check here again with the 2L.
Nice catch with the 2M from Dudikov.
Nice little check with the jump with the 6XL. Woo! The little neutral skip there with the 2 and 4.
+3, of course, after that. Big 6XL, but doesn't convert off with the 2M.
The U butterfly was still on the screen again. Nice little contest there from Arifu. Going for the big strike here. I'm sorry for the 2-1 for you.
Yep. Side U Zohar strike, the quintessential extender for Sandokan. Gets a huge catch with the close light right there. Dudikov.
Very solid. Yeah.
Another straight rounds coming through. These players just playing at this very slow, measured pace, but it's working out better for Arifu until that moment. Dudikov finally getting his solid corner sequence and now able to apply a pressure of his own.
Oh, doesn't get the butterfly block, but works in his advantage because he gets a throw. Ooh, spends a bit of meter for not too much here.
Yeah, went for the back throw instead of the forward throw to keep the corner positioning. Not sure if Dudikov wanted that, but still in a great position. Gets the huge chip damage from the U butterfly.
Oh, Arifu finds a jump U there. Fly attempt. Still going for the... Oh yeah, it's just using that arrows pretty well here.
Nice side walk forward to get the side swap. Dudikov, huge health lead, but is that going to punish from full screen?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, look at the damage that does Dudikov here with no BPs. Even though that SB didn't drain a lot, but nice little contest there with the Pharrell. Stopping that 6XL just in time.
I was going to say Dudikov was almost at 50 meter, would have had that DP accessible had he needed it, but didn't need it right at the end. The far light was more than enough.
Oh, excellent roll there, going under the TK arrow. Allowing Arifu to press a bit of offense here a bit. Still slowing down, making sure he doesn't lose too much damage by risking this run-in. Dudikov doing a very good job at keeping him in the bay.
Backdashing away from the butterfly to avoid that big chip damage. Air unblockable situation. Very nice for Dudikov. Gonna get that knocked down. Set up the butterflies once again. Arifu trying to go for the wings right there, but to no avail. You know that Arifu was looking for that opportunity to 6XL out and start the pressure, but instead finds a close light.
Of course here, Dudikov doing an excellent job at slowing down the pace. The pause that he did just before the game was all that he needed to make sure he gets another game here, which was very important for his momentum going forward here. 1-1 to each player. We saw that both now represented what they want to do. So now we're going to go a bit deeper, into the layers. We're going to go into the mental stack. We're going to apply something that we could not apply on those first game. To see which player we're going to go with the hop end here. Oh, the Judgment Card causing the distance here. Nice little check down the 5U.
Ooh, triggers the butterfly, but not able to really win the interaction, so to speak. Arifu playing this kind of neutral defense really, really well around a lot of these options. Blocking out the U butterfly. And a great timing with the U Ecliptica.
And Arifu going for this 2L5L. Nice U fireball there on the butterfly. Appearance here. To buy out some distance. Ooh, gonna get a huge punish on the HR, but still gets the pickup with the close cell anti-air to the close edge. Look at all of this damage. Oh, that was an SBA. Oh,
DC into the DP, very nice from Dudikov. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Good defense once again from Arifu, keeping steadfast, but no conversion afterwards.
Almost a cheap point here, Dudikov. We have to play a bit like a rat. Okay. I was confused here, but the Judgment Cut here, trading with the butterfly, with the arrow, and Arifu advancing here with 1 round of advance.
Silenced in that first round was Dudikov. Arafu applying the pressure now, making great use of the first in line, retreating to get the silence judgment cut, and another big counter on the JU.
Staggering the pressure here a little bit, trying to catch Dudikoff matching a button. Got that opening, but couldn't confirm quite well. Decides to go for a BC here. The butterfly following here. Arafu. Ooh, they jump over the judgment cut, but that wasn't enough to clear the space out.
Something that Arafu likes to do a lot is, in a lot of these advantageous situations, he tends not to extend his offense immediately. He likes to try to bait a DP, and as a result, his offense actually will lose to an immediate mash. You will be able to take your turn back. Pressure so far, another silence right there. It's looking really difficult for Dudikoff right now to make this comeback. Arafu just playing so disciplined. He has another meter for another 54, the U arrow, but it's not going to find its mark. And now Dudikoff has an opportunity here.
Oh, just had to close the distance here with the low neutral skip. Dudikoff was just spacing himself right well, but again, another trade here with the judgment cuts. And this time, U arrow along for Arafu go up 2-1.
Yeah, even these fast arrows from Matera not quite fast enough to be able to stuff Arafu in these situations. These trades not working out for Dudikoff. Once again, just taking a moment to compose himself in order to be able to fight the titan that is in front of him in Arafu.
It says here in the chat, the judgment cuts here are so clutch, allowing him to, like, you know, put up a projectile that, of course, Matera can go through pretty easily, but if it's right in front of you, you can't really do much and allow Arafu to close out some space here, but also a check of space. Dudikoff's here with the 4L. Nice little butterfly insurance here, making sure he goes away. Yeah. City Sage here. Ooh, nice touch of the Age Fireball as well.
Arafu jumping at these angles such that Dudikoff is kind of forced to go for the 2H rather than being able to 6-2-3H these anti-air attempts, or with the anti-air attempts.
Oh yeah, TK arrows and Arafu jumping out here, but still Dudikoff side here. Nice little opening, and of course, U Fireball going straight to Dudikoff's mouth. TK arrows again, trying to check the lows here. Ooh, interrupts it right like he needed. To U on the roll attempt. Ascent, yeah! No, he picks up with the U arrow.
That time at the spacing to be able to effectively hit with that 6-3H. The Great Fall taking Arafu back down to earth. Now Dudikoff with the round lead here in this fourth game.
Nice little check-in again. Arafu getting the fire stance. Nice spot dodge here on the H arrow, not allowing Dudikoff to bite space here with the hop.
Catches the fuzzy jump attempt with the close light. These stackers from Arafu, really good so far. Nice knockdown though coming out from Dudikoff. The U butterfly is there tracking and keeping itself pinned onto Arafu. But there's that nerf, of course, the duration reduction, making it disappear that little bit earlier.
Oh, the one-up check here with the 4L. Noki got Arafu mashing something. Using sticky arrows, the U butterfly is out. Nice spot dodge here from Dudikoff. The butterfly is still behind, and yes, the spacing here allowing himself to punish that TXL with the 4H and getting the kill with the U butterfly.
Yeah, the absolutely massive hitbox of that U butterfly. It didn't even seem like it would have connected with Arafu there, but it found its mark and got Dudikoff to that Game 5 situation.
Of course, here taking a bit of time, which is very well needed for both players. We saw that both was really, it's a really back and forth here because Arafu gets one, Dudikoff gets one, Arafu gets the another one, Dudikoff tries to adapt back. But here, one more chance for both players. We'll have to see who gets the hopper end. But for now, it looks like Dudikoff has a nice opening there with those 4Ls. Doesn't he get to touch something?
Yeah, very nice. Of course, Arafu off on that fireball cooldown meant that he kind of had to approach there. He's going to look for a U Ecliptica. There it is. But Dudikoff spot dodging in time.
Ooh, going over the judgment cut in here. Oh, slight pickup of the butterfly top, but still get the damage. Look at Arafu Valves. Being chipped out by a lot of moves.
Yeah, all of these arrows really adding up, but finally Arafu paves the way forward with that U Ecliptica, and here comes the pressure.
BC is out. Dudikoff can now play the keep our game and just BC at any opening that Arafu wants to create on him. You just have to wait out a little bit. Can even stay a bit in the corner, not too much of a problem. I saw a mash out there, but Arafu is out to keep the advantage. Ooh, almost get the to anti-air with the 2H.
Yeah, big whiff right there. Not going to be punished, but Arafu now back to neutral. And this is where Dudikov felt comfortable and has been winning. Goes for the U butterfly to bait out an option. There's such low recovery on that. And Dudikov now here at set point.
You can hear the crowd here cheering for both players, making sure that their favorite player gets to go on forward. But for now, Dudikov has the advantage. Nice 6XL from Arafu. Going to the fire stance here. I have some space. Nice little jump U. An opening, gets the throw. Is the strike throw game going? No. Oh no. Woo, woo.
Another hit with the U Ecliptica right there. Dudikov not really able to establish anything this round, but there's the U butterfly, and now the offense begins. But the match coming out from Arafu, beautifully timed, and a conversion off of that counter hit JU. It's been so important for Arafu throughout this set so far. And there's the throw. Final game, final round here in our losers round 1 of top 8.
We are so deep in those layers. We may be in the layer 10 now because both characters, both players here know what the other wants to represent. We start off with some bit of zoning on Dudikov's side. The Judgment got to dodge the fireball here.
Yeah, beautiful evasion right there.
Oh, and
the trade!
Wow!
And because it was from the JU, actually got Arafu a knockdown, meaning that trade was not in Dudikov's favor. The 2U in that situation at that spacing?
The call out on the shimmy, yeah, I like it. I like the risk that's being taken here with Dudikov because now we just can't play safe. You have to go for these big opening moves. Dudikov with a life advantage, but here, nice little hard knockdown. Get to the backdash and wake up.
Dudikov only at 1 BP each of these hits. It's going to mean so much. In this position, Arafu just needs that one opening to potentially take this set. Will he find it?
Arafu in a way better position here. Resource-wise, Dudikov going to play the keep-out game. Now Arafu gets to big sub!
Down tip, but nothing too big right there. Good tech on the throw, but the backdash is caught once again by the U Ecliptica, and Arafu is going to be the one to move on, taking out Dudikov at 7th place.
Ooh, very high tension match here, going to the last possible interaction, but of course the huge fireball, a tool that...
Alright, excellent stuff to both players, beautifully played. It was a real nail biter back and forth between both players. Arafu just about able to edge it out, was really disciplined and what's the word? Very kind of stubborn with that 236U usage. Wanted to keep using it because he knew how important that move was. We will be taking a short break, get some water, take a breather, but we will be right back shortly.
See you in a... and welcome back, gamers, here into this magnificent VSF top 8 here for Granblue Fantasy Versus. After this small break, hopefully you get to grab some little chips, some little food, you get to hydrate yourself, but here we're going to go back into it. Earlier we had a really good showing here on the winner's side. We got Saki and Space advancing forward, qualifying themselves here for the winner's final, but we're going to go back here into the loser's quarter with Fitizen against, Pepe, who did a very good job. Of course, we had Gideon on earlier with the Willness. Still a very great showing of the Willness. A really good placement here. 7th place at VSF with 124-25 players here in this big bracket. Very stacked. But on the other side, we had Dudakov, who just lost against Arifu, of course. Again, congrats to Dudakov for making it to 7th place. And we are going to have Skill against Arifu, the French team kill, on the second game here of losers quarters finals.
Yeah, of course. Fitizen versus Pepe, most likely going to see the Beatrix versus the Belial. Fitizen before was saying that he was doing another double blind pick, but we all know what characters are going to come out. But, you know, you might as well. Oh, not for this? Okay.
I mean,
okay.
he only do it with like the players that have multiple characters, so he can get, you know, as you just said, that 5% chance that they pick the wrong character because he knows what he's gonna play dead on. So he's trying to induce that fear into the opponent. Maybe they're going to be like, oh yeah, but if he does the blind pick,
mind games outside the game.
Yeah, that's how you get into opponents.
The game starts before you even boot up the setup.
Of course, bro. Just the way that you just sit down, take the controller, the way you assert yourself over your opponent, just tells a lot of stuff. But here in this community, we're just so chill, so awesome.
Leads. But yeah, no, we're going to be getting Beatrix versus Belial.
Yes.
The battle of what one could say is Super Shotos. Well, Belial, you know, he's had a slight fall from grace. He's still an incredibly strong character, but I think he doesn't have nearly the level of representation that he used to have. I know particularly in North America, a lot of the best Belials aren't really playing him as much anymore, like Koji Coco, Aaron Damac, they're not really playing Belial as much as they used to. There's still some, of course, representative. Of course, we have Pepe here, keeping to the character, doing incredibly well so far. But yeah, both these characters just incredibly well-rounded, incredibly privileged throughout this game's lifespan so far.
What I really like about Belial's change is because they manage to tone down all of the very oppressive stuff that he has, but he still keeps his identity as a kind of weird, in a way, Shoto, because he still has that very good 4H. He can frame trap a little bit here with the 2Ms, of course, but he cannot quite you know, loop them 2Ms like he used to be.
Yeah, increased pushback on that 2M. And of course, the changes to his H fireball in particular, I think, are the biggest thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot more kind of counterplay to that option. It's a much more dynamic move to deal with, and to use, I would argue, for both the Belial player and their opponents.
That's how you can like actually nerf down a character, but still have them keep their strengths and have a bit more weaknesses, but Belial doesn't have that much weaknesses even after all of this, right? Just a pretty cool toning down, but on the other side, Beatrix, of course, the monster that she is since the release, only got nerfs on the way there, of course, thank God.
Yeah, well, actually, so not previous patch, I think it was a patch before, the same one where they nerfed Asusia. Beatrix still got some compensation buffs.
Yeah.
She, you know, she got the increased height on counter hit from 2-2M, so that she gets the close heavy. They nerfed that before so that she only got far light. They made it so that 5U on hit keeps her a bit closer, so she's able to better maintain offense after that.
That's a good one.
Why she needed any of this? Only the developers can answer that. We can't, I'm afraid. But you know, this character is here, and she is here to stay. I think probably a character that has existed in that sort of top 5 minimum space since her release. And my goodness, I'm glad that we never had to deal with tournaments, release Beatrix tournaments, because she was not legal until she got her hotfix.
Nerf, yeah. The only character, I think, in GBVS history, even, that got a nerf stat fast, because she was just so oppressive. But here, doesn't matter really too much, because we need to go with Fitizen on the Beatrix against Pepe with the Belial. Ooh, I recognize the song. Very good song.
Honeylet's Name.
Oh, yeah. So here, maybe the Footsies game. Ooh, already started with a bit of Excel. Nice little check there. Fitizen on the 2L5L.
Fitizen already kind of realizing that Pepe loves to go for those sorts of delay. He loves to structure his pressure around delay mash. Arafu is very similar in that regard. So Fitizen are mashing immediately in order to be able to contest. Doesn't want to hold the pressure this time either. Fitizen on the very aggressive offense right there. Doesn't follow up with the Sapphire Slash because he knew he had the Delta Clock to maximize his damage. Goes into the SBA. Immortal Assault. Gets the game.
And ooh, little back throw incident here coming from Pepe. Making sure that it's... Ooh, again, instant mash this time. Not a delay. Just like you called it before. And okay, so if I've learned something from the set yesterday is that this is killing.
I will agree with that. And yeah, just you could see right from the damage from those first 2 kicks. Naiyu coming through, getting those channel points. And Pepe getting that first round on the boards.
That big boy can still do some lot of damage because his combo is just so quirky as well with his combo with the low juggles, but I love to see. But Pepe getting here the first round. Fitizen will have to be able to like do less mistakes, especially on low health. The 5U press here, slight punish, and again, as we just said before, the nerfs allow a bit more of a dynamic game plan here coming from Fitizen, and he has to punish.
Yeah, so something that you can do against that pinwheel of Belial's after the H-Fireball is that you can commit to a 9-frame option and you will either trade, or if you've gone for a 6XL, you can even stuff him out.
Yes, of course. But here Fitizen kind of stuck in his corner. Oh, the little side swap jump H, and of course Fitizen using that SBA as a reaction check to any projectile being sent.
Yeah, not quite close enough to be able to get the cinematic big counter on the 2M, but no conversion after the far heavy. Lovely whiff punish right there from Pepe. Beautiful stuff, driving Fitizen into the corner. Fiddy now doesn't have the meter to be able to convert Delta Clock, but the DP back from Pepe is going to get him the first game.
The way that Pepe just mind controls their opponent into pressing button, and the way he just swiftly punished with a 2M, with a far edge, is just so clean. And mind you, this guy is so young. He's built for those reaction and those callouts. And ooh, Thunderbird here to start off the round pretty well for Fitizen. Starting off in this corner, but Pepe finding a way out.
Yeah, we saw Pepe go for the early 2M, maybe to try to counter-poke an incoming 6XL, but that's where that Thunderbird comes into play.
It was Fitizen coming back here. The last two Footsies applying the pressure here, just cycling all of those cooldown, all of those plus frame, and Pepe being pretty happy here, just holding block, waiting for the moment Fitizen cools down here. Until Fitizen trying to be a bit more impatient, going through the side throw. Ooh, excellent punish on the jump U here.
Yeah, very, very nice. Just to kind of wait it out. Doesn't need to commit to the 2H anti-air. And to be honest, Beatrix's anti-air conversions can be a little bit awkward at times, so makes sense to punish on the grounded hit. Double fireball route into the side switch. Now Pepe's chance to apply that pressure.
Oh, again, nice little far H there, going back with the mid-screen, but never mind, BC is out, sorry. Just exchanging them. And oh, the low check, an excellent reaction from Fitizen, going to SB, but not killing yet. They go for the 6x7, nice little reaction from Pepe, wing very aware of himself, going for the SSB
I don't
and
think
2L.
he pressed. Yeah, he didn't press anything.
Didn't he? I thought I saw a 2L being pressed from Fitizen.
Nah, I think he just dashed forward and crouched, so it looked like an action, but none was taken. Good patience from Fitizen right there.
Ooh, the low slide under, and of course the buff we were talking about earlier, getting that close stage on the M riding free counter hit.
Taking Pepe all the way to the corner. Still applying the pressure, but a good DP.
Wow. Ooh, nice little 2U there, going for the Thunderbird. Get the plus frame and get the corner carry with it. Nice little strike through there, nice little tech. Ooh, try to spot dodge at one for you, but no, you don't get to do that. And of course, Fitizen afterwards, confirming the 2M into riding free, going full damage here, and even getting the SBA out.
Link SBA, not quite enough damage to get the KO just yet. Now Fitizen just slowing it down, knowing that he doesn't need to overextend, and catches the whiff punish with the riding free. Fitizen now even set 1-1.
At the end there, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I almost saw the whiff punish, but Pepe almost had the time to block low, but he didn't just block high, so he wasn't expecting a 2-2M to come out after this 2M. Ooh!
The round start.
Yeah.
Star Chaser coming out from Fitizen. Wow, beautiful spacing on that jump to be able to avoid the anti-air attempt, and look at the reward that you reap as a result.
Still applying. Oh, tried to BC the fireball, but Fitizen was too far away to be knocked back. Oh, the little check there with the footies with the 2M.
Yeah, no counter, so not able to get the confirm into the far heavy right there.
Okay.
Pepe just playing this corner position, so patient, not extending to anything, but finally gets clipped by the 6XL. Most likely we're going to see an extension. No, into the 2-1-4U, the U Thunderbird chooses not to spend the SBA just yet.
You can see that now Fitizen just not mindlessly in a way, throwing out them buttons in the corner, just trying to play a bit more patiently because Pepe is doing a very good job at blocking everything. So, you know, trying to slow down a bit and allow Pepe to do some mistakes in the distance. Nice 6XM this time. Almost putting Pepe at a very dire situation, almost getting the round even. Nice little jump H to get out of the corners. Pepe getting the side swap.
Massive throw from Pepe right there. Huge H, but no conversion. Didn't believe in that hit.
And again, Pepe stuck in a cheap situation.
Yeah. I like the decision to go for the H riding free, make sure those hitboxes come out immediately. Fitizen now up around. You saw Pepe trying to jump, trying to play around that to the best of his ability, but Fitizen not having it.
Going for some pressure in the corner. Excellent contest there from Fitizen. Still keeping his turn here in this corner. Getting some cute low damage in.
Yeah, the reward off of that mash definitely in Fitizen's favor.
Whoa.
Huge close heavy, has all of the resources to get the KO here.
Yeah, that is, yeah, it's over. Doesn't even need to link to his SBA, just cancel into it. And Fitizen getting his second game on the board.
2-1 here for one of the titans of German Granblue. Pepe taking a moment.
Oh, we can see that Force early on was doing a very good job at playing around Fitizen's space, making sure he can visualize some sort of bubble around him and around Fitizen, and going in and out, trying to bait out an option. Fitizen taking full advantage of this, of course, in the corner. Trying to play again in this bubble range, so we have to see if any of those players will want to, like, you know, close the distance and play a bit more closer. But again, M riding free, doing a wonder here for Fitizen.
The damage off of those is so solid as well. Pepe just being a little bit too late on his presses.
Try to call out here BC, both players just keeping a very safe pressure. Fitizen doing a lot of small damage in. Ooh!
Wake up Uvasago of all options. Another great reaction from Fitizen though. Again, not quite close enough to be able to get that cinematic, but the damage is well worth it. Gonna get the wall bounce here and gonna put himself on set point. Fitizen up another round.
The way you can pick up some moment of this whole set to do the shutout of the footies game, it's just so incredible. They just keep going in and out of all of those places. Nice again! Riding free here, going under.
So risky to throw out those fireballs. The spot dodge, had he just blocked, he would have been able to get the throw punish. But Fitizen fighting out with the UDP regardless.
Playing out a very slowish game, but here gets a punish. Getting with a full auto combo here.
That's so unfortunate for Pepe. Tried to whiff punish Fitizen's far heavy with his own and ends up getting whiff punished himself.
Playing this layer so well here. See that they're both slowing down their gameplay now. Instead of just throwing button, they're picking very particular timing, trying to go away and trying to call out an option. But, ooh!
Trying to go for a BC or a Raging Strike cancel right there, but Pepe ready with the proper response. Now has the corner control. 1 BP, so has to be careful. One solid hit from Fitizen will end the set.
Still not in clock range, so maybe Pepe will have to route in a very particular way to avoid getting organic comeback. And again here, excellent! With punish on the 2M, going for a full damage combo. Okay. Yes. Why am I doubting? Why am I doubting? Of course it kills!
Absolutely kills right there. Pepe keeping himself alive. I really like how Pepe played the end of that round. He was very cautious of doing any cancels in particular until he got a solid hit. Beautiful interception this time of the riding free with the 2M and gets a nice chunk of damage as a result. Back that shimmy versus the wake up throw, but drops the combo unfortunately for Pepe.
Pepe, excellent momentum here. We have to see if Fitizen can keep down the youngster here. Going for a cool corner combo here. Doesn't have the opportunity to fully cash out, so goes for the cute little Sam here on the MT. Ooh, he's got the recovering frame of the spot dodging. Nice little punish there on the jump U, and this time Citizen 4 resources available to go for the kill here.
This could do a ton of damage.
Yeah.
1 BP on the side of Pepe. What is the response? Nothing is forever. The 5U snatching away Pepe's bracket life, and Citizen will be advancing 3-1 here on the loser side, making his way to loser semis.
Excellent job here from Citizen. You can see that they were just playing in such an incredible deep layer. They were kind of communicating with each other. It was just a dance. You know, one person was playing out something, putting up something against the opponent, and the other was just responding in such a particular way that allowed the other to continue the conversation. It was just so beautiful overall. Mono's
big
for
ups
Pepe,
once again to Pepe. What a performance throughout this entire bracket. Honestly, I think I can speak for pretty much all of us here. We were incredibly impressed with how Pepe had been playing this entire bracket. Playing well beyond his years, I would say. There's just the discipline of a true veteran, the way that he's just kind of able to hold block in those situations, the way that he was able to mount those incredible comebacks that we saw time and time again throughout this bracket. Just a beautiful showing all around. But as you mentioned before, we are going to be having our French team kill coming up next. Skill versus Arefu.
I can see some people, I can imagine some people not being very happy of this, but of course, everything can happen in tournament, and it had to happen here in VSF. We'll have to see which player will be going on to meet Citizen in the loser semis. I did saw them as well play earlier, and I did come in very early in the venue, and I saw that it was at 7-7, so it was very close. I don't know if they continued playing the long sets.
They continue playing for a while after that, and the games leans towards Skill's favor afterwards.
Okay, but if it's after a while, you know, so here we don't have the opportunity to go into FT5, FT10. No, we're only, and thank God, on FT3. So we have to see which one will be going on here again. It's Citizen. So going for the little button check here. Can hear the crowd going for the yippies.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Wait. I feel like I haven't seen at this tournament both those display play too much. Like they always manage to kind of dodge each other, right?
Yeah, because usually what happens is we'll have a top 8 and Arefu will usually enter on the loser's side. Skill tends to stay on the winner's side for a lot of things, so they don't run into each other all too often.
So we'll have to see here because, of course, against other players, we kind of know how they want to play. They have a very particular way of playing the game, and of course their characters. So we're going to be seeing here the clash of the two ways of approaching the game. It's still a shoulder matchup here for Story, so he's going to maybe trying to switch out the aggressiveness and the defensiveness of the characters to, of course, allow even in a sense Arefu to make mistakes, you know, with this far range, because he's has a lot of opportunity to do some damage out of 2-1 for you, etc. So I think Skill is going to play around all of those bubbles that we were talking about earlier here on the previous set. But
yeah, Soros I think is just as a character very well equipped to fight at characters that want to specialize in mid-range. You know, he has such good pokes, such good counter pokes. You know, his buttons, his mediums especially, very low commitment for what they are, as well as having a really good dash light as well.
He got some buff recently, but we have to see here if Skill gets to apply all of those. Jumping the judgment cut, and now Arefu just trying to zone out, but Skill found an opening here with some dash-ins. He's out first for Arefu.
Ooh, timing on that roll, not quite in the position to get the punish, of course. Frames, and yeah, just going to be to maintain that corner control. Immediately mashing.
Nice interrupt there under 2-2H. Go for a full extension, as we just said before. Look at all of this corner carry, even though it doesn't do quite a lot of damage, but it's still a good position for Arefu, where he can get a low stance there at the end. Ooh, almost got a whiff punish there under to you.
Yeah, a lot of whiffs coming out from Arefu in the early parts of the set. Plus frames, of course. Skill keeping his turn. Going to convert using the RSRC and get the hard knockdown with you punch the stars.
I pressed that, I would have been obliterated, and Skill Doesn't quite confirm it. Hit him with the triple punches here on Arifu's face, and Skill opening up here the first round.
Yeah, Arifu desperately trying to get back into that space, but Skill just intercepting him, and that JU has been doing so much work for Arifu. Finds his mark once again.
Nice little pick up there. Wait, oh no, the slight drop. After the H fireball, fire stance. Nice little to you there, but didn't have the fireball to pick it up. To play a bit more slowly as the air advantage. Nice little kick there to disturb Arifu with his offense.
What's often happening is Skill is getting counter-poked with the fireball on a lot of his pokes. But the thing is, it's always still worth risking him going for those pokes just because the reward is so high. If he gets them, Arifu answering back beautifully with that far heavy. 1 round apiece.
So fun, I mean, so interesting and incredible to see both players of this caliber. They play each other a lot, right, as we just said before. So it's always cool to see how they know each other, how they want to play the game, and how they adapt on live here. Because they go back a bit. They go back into layer 1, 2, and 3 way more than you would usually expect. Here, the pick up with the far H into 2-2H. Look at this combo and this damage. Skill taking the first game.
The massive counter hit far heavy, more than enough to get the KO right there. Skill gonna go up 1-0 so far.
Believe in victory. Battle
I have to see if Skill can keep his advantage or if Arifu is going to go back here with 1 on the board. Checking here, knocking at the door. Ooh, slightly misspacing himself and being hit by a big punch. Woo!
Gonna take the damage there. Lovely conversion into the U impact knuckles. And Arifu not blocking in that situation. That is something that Arifu tends to do on defense quite often.
And oh, goes for the roundhouse kick here for the chip damage. He goes for the second one here. An expeditive round here for Skill.
Yeah, light one. Arifu not ready to try to take his turn back properly or get the punish. So Skill just happy to go for the next one.
Ooh, nice going under here. The jump U getting a small little punish. So getting the damage here and 6 here from Arifu. Checking Skill sweet, but of course the 2M here getting checked by Skill. Oh, nice block.
Yeah, meaty overhead. That is not. That's always safe for Soris.
Yeah.
Impossible to punish because of its speed.
Oh yeah, we think some moves here, but Arifu doesn't take the opportunity to punish them. That's still looking very rough. For Arifu here, Skill going up 2-0 in a very decisive manner.
Yeah, Skill good at. He's so good at varying the dynamic of coaxing you into wanting to take space and just filling that space himself, whether it be using the far medium or 2M to counter poke, or using his impact knuckles, the 2-3-6, to just invade that space and catch your forward approach.
And ooh, nice little 2H there, keeping Arifu in the corner, but it's still very fine. A little BC out, no, I didn't opening, but still didn't quite confirm into it. Ooh, again, another 60 being found here by Arifu, spending in the meter this time. Stabilize the combo, getting the corner carry and going into fire stance here. Nice new reversal from Skill.
Skill not opting to go for the side switch right there, instead using the meaty to coax out a BC from Arifu. Now 1 BP to his name. Has to be super careful around anything that Soros wants to do.
Nice little check here and there, but Arifu has to be a bit more assertive here in this match. Skill being very happy, and of course the 2-1-4 to check for Arifu. Backdashing or doing any other move on Wake Up.
Yeah, I love that option to go for that right there. It's such a high reward one, and it's plus on block as well. Catching that backdash beautifully, and a huge far heavy. This is going to be monumental damage.
And a little frame kill there with the whiffed auto combo. Nice fireball coming from Arifu. First, cheeky little side swap. Still doesn't whiff punish that cell attempt. Judgment cut, yeah, just playing very well around all of Arifu's tool. Again, the kick to disturb, but couldn't quite confirm here.
Yeah, didn't have the resources available in order to convert after the H punch the stars.
Ooh, the kick there, nice punish by Arifu with the 7th frame 2M here. Going with 4 punish as well. Going straight to the corner. Not a lot of life to work with, but no. Ooh, jumps himself into the corner, but still managed to get out.
Another BC coming out from Skill. Again, this is do or die for Arafu. It's going to take so little for Skill to get this KO. The DP after is going to do it. Skill taking it 3-0 over his French brethren, Arafu. But what a great showing from Arafu throughout this bracket. Once again, 5th place. Give it up for Arafu, everybody.
Excellent placement, really good showcasing of his send-off on again. Not sure if he's fully happy with his placement, but he still played super well. Was super proud of him, especially for the French people, of course. Kind of unfortunate that it had to happen because Saki managed to, you know, kick out the Skill into the losers here, but Skill going to go forward, and voila, that was pretty good.
Yeah, incredible stuff to Skill. Very, very nice. We will soon be moving on to the winners finals. I believe we're going to be taking a very short break to do a quick commentary swap, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere.
Charlotte.
Right, all right, good evening, one and all. We still have some versus fighting action here. It's an ARC World Tour qualifier on this one, of course. Zero is now jumping on the mic alongside Viram to continue this action. You know, thanks for warming everyone up. This seat is looking fantastic right now. This audience looks fantastic.
That it does. The audience has had great energy throughout this top 8 so far, and I know you guys are going to continue with it as we move on to winners finals here, Space versus Sockie.
Yes, look, the intensity in the room here, of course, these last few points, and again, I think we want to try to come up on top this weekend here. I mean, last weekend crossover, a great, spectacular event, but now that's old news. We're in the current era versus Fighting 13 to see who comes out on top in this matchup, and this is really going to set the tone for the rest of this top 6.
That it will, and of course, all 4 of these players, top 4 seeds of the tournament, I would say the best 4 players in Europe right now, and all 4 of them fighting for their spot at the ARC World Tour.
That's right.
Gold plus events, so there's lots and lots of points on the line for the winner here. And it looks like they are going to be getting ready with their button check.
Absolutely. The points are still lining up here. We haven't quite updated the ARC World Tour ranking quite yet, but if you've been doing the quick maths after crossover, I mean, things are looking pretty tight for these two, especially in terms of qualification positioning here. Again, they're kind of comfortable at least for that invite qualification. Now it's going to kind of turn out into seeding, but you want to make darn sure that you're sitting pretty well for that trip over to Seoul, South Korea.
Indeed, you do. The Charlotta once again coming out from Sockie. He said before that he's been really struggling, the Catalina, to establish himself versus players like Space and Skill. So the Charlotta is making its appearance once again.
This has kind of been that comfort pick for Sockie time and time again. You'll notice that throughout the history of, at least for Sockie, we start with that Catalina and lean into that more frustrated state with that Charlotta. But here, it's looking like it's going to be a banger of a start. We got that BC out of the corner, but Space doesn't want to let Sockie exit out of this one.
Lovely check with the far light right there, keeping Space in line. Now it's Sockie's time to apply the offense. Back to the middle of the screen with the U-Star Chaser.
Try to go for that delay of 5L, but now got that jump out here. Still not going to escape this corner. The threat of 5L again. Nice. Got Charlotta ball. Back to the mid-screen, but the Star Chaser, the denial.
But these two just this constant back and forth, but it's favoring Space right now. This is going to be a massive amount of damage, knocking Sockie to 1 BP.
1 BP and a dream, the final touch on the board here. Plenty of resources. We got the hands out. Nice whiff punish.
Very, very good whiff punish. And actually, Sockie just needs 1 solid hit into SSBA. Not quite enough. Unfortunately, didn't have the cooldown for Shining Onslaught to get the wall bounce and extend the combo. This is going to be a ton. However, both players last hit situation.
That's it here. What a call out with that DP. Are you kidding me?
Space remaining sound, remaining brave here.
All right, got the spin. Nice. Quick light DP knock at the door, and it's a corner carry for this one.
Yeah, we mentioned before in the Sockie versus skill set that Soares is one of the few characters that can punish that H-ball mid-screen. Beatrix being another one with that light DP.
Okay, there it is. Stealing back that turn with the Holy Ladder. Stagger pressure here. You got to worry about that next reversal that comes through potentially. That is a threat coming from Space. We've seen it once already.
Thunderbird, a lot of chip damage coming from that. Sockie being worn away bit by bit. Needs to find a real solid opening. The jumps are the way to do it. Space still able to block in time and gets the hit right there. Has the resources to get the KO, and Space is going to do just that. Up here, 1-0.
First game, the threat has been established here. A strong start, but I don't think we got off that West Coast at all throughout this set, honestly. Sockie, let's see what the opening gamut will be on this one. All right, nice dash light start here. A little bit of patience from Space here as we try to open things up with a dash light of our own.
Oh, backdashing, and it looked like Sockie was ready to try to go for something, but the throw is what comes out instead. Didn't believe in his own backdash, I think.
And again, threatening with these safe jabs. Walk up, does block the BC. Resource down here, a boon for Space.
Nice light ball frame trap right there. Able to get a decent follow-up, but loses his turn after 6XM.
There it is, our throw here. Strong lead for Space. Once again, the threat. Next touch opening. That could have been the kill right there.
Yeah, just barely missed out on that 2M. They clashed, but a great reaction to the clash using that far light. Space. 3rd consecutive round right now.
Consistency, and that has been the tale of Beatrix throughout this iteration of Granblue Rising. Nothing but, honestly, let's be real, consistent since inception of the character, really.
Oh, yes. Oh, not quite close enough to be able to get the 2H into the command grab sequence. That does lead to a hard knockdown, and magnificent patience on the offense from Space right there.
Absolutely. Even running out of that corner, taking quick advantage of the situation. Get the run under. There's the 5U, and it's Delta Clock threat. You will die if you get caught.
Delta Clock expended for the pressure on the H-Star Chaser 186XL, but not able to convert from that range.
Flashlight here opened up. Does get the Raging Chain. That is the final breakpoint on the table.
Oh, dropping the link after the 2-2U. That's such a shame for Saki, but a beautiful reaction on the Thunderbird, ready with the Holy Ladder.
That's one thing that's going to be a constant throughout the appearances of Saki throughout this top 8. Quick reactions. You can't expect to get away with things for free here, and we do get the hands out.
Yeah, beautifully timed jump right there, just ready for Space's go-to 6XL round starts.
Jump back away. Not going to get the whip punish on the dash lights. We are fishing for him, though, but we're still fishing for a ride free.
Big throw. Nice. Gets the tech that time. Almost gets the jump out punish. Wow, doubling up on the U-Star Chaser. Doesn't want Saki to get anything started.
DC again, though. Back in the mid-screen we are.
Again, these 6XLs just hammering on Saki. Saki not able to establish any momentum just yet, and that's really going to sting as a result.
Knocking on the door here towards victory once more. Last touch interaction, and we got it with the 5L.
Yeah, Space is so good after those safe jumps, of varying his timing and options, making it very, very difficult to defend in those situations. Crowd coming alive to try to keep Saki alive here in this winner's side. But Space is just looking like an unstoppable juggernaut of a player right now.
No kidding. All right, so we got, oh my goodness, the 2H.
I think probably could have extended a little bit further after that LDP, but
yeah.
Space instead just opting for the advantage of the knockdown.
Maybe uncertain of the positioning on the screen, but we do get the tech here. Big swing of the bat.
Yeah. Space himself not even believing in that whiff punish, but it was absolutely perfectly placed. Saki finally getting a good hit. But 0 BP on the side of Saki. He has to really make these hits count.
All right, the jump out to JU. Does get the throw. Final touch interaction again with these break points down and out. And it's so scary. When you're at that life point, you see a character like Beatrix run up on you, the guessing game begins. Is it going to be the quick 2L? Am I going to get caught that 5L safe jab? Or is it going to be the throw? Your guess is as good as mine, and it doesn't turn out here for Saki, at least in that last round. But the sequence begins again.
Didn't actually get that conversion after the count hit far heavy into the riding free. Saki able to capitalize now, has the screen positioning. Ooh. Oh, a little bit too late on the spot dodge. He's been so good with the Holy Ladders, but that time, Space with the incredible spot dodge. Goes for the 6XL right there for the additional corner carry, the additional meter gain. Not quite going to hit that 100 for the SBA, though.
Outside the range here, the BC, quick run up, and this should be around the game, the set. We're looking at Saki going down into the loser side of things. We'll see you later with Space, solidifying their position at Grand Finals.
Again, Space has barely dropped any games throughout this whole bracket. He is looking so strong and comfortable versus everybody that he faces, and is just looking in prime form to potentially take this entire tournament here at VSFighting.
We're coming out hot after crossover and still jumping into this one here. Still something to be seen here throughout the rest of this bracket. And again, that is not going to be the last appearance here of Saki, right? We're going to get that back in Losers Finals, but we still have a few more matches to get into that position here. But yeah, Space looking really consistent, keeping up that momentum coming from crossover even. That's looking solid performance to be the one to stop here. And again, we still have skill out here, which has been an absolute terror in terms of EU performances out here. Every time I see an EU bracket, I see skill listed in this top, and like, oh no, this is, wait a minute. You see the usual suspects out here again. I see Saki, I see Fittison. I'm like, okay, yeah, we got a solid one going. And then you toss in a Space, maybe an S1 out there, but then skill is always going to be the storm that will shake everything up for this lineup here. That'll be our next set coming up here on this loser semis. It's going to be Fittison versus Skill. We'll see if Fittison has what it takes to maybe stop this run here, because Skill has consistently been that force to be reckoned with, especially against these next two matches potentially.
Yeah, just skills, Soares, and the overall gameplay has been such a thorn in the side of the other top European representatives, and it's just been incredibly difficult. It's an incredible uphill battle for all of them, but it feels like, again, those gaps are edging closer and closer, and the dynamics between our top players shifting ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's been incremental steps for sure as we've been leading into this competition, as this year's competition alone, especially with that performance that Skill had at this year's ARC World Tour Finals.
Yes.
As we lead into this next one here, you know, I can see the frustration starting to build, right? Because now EU is all eyes on Skill. It's just like, how do we knock him out, right? Like, we got to figure out how to keep up with this momentum here. And you can't count on a consistent form from Skill. He's always able to up the ante on a moment's notice, and that's terrifying. There's no conditioning skill here, and I think that is the puzzle when you go into this matchup here. You start second-guessing your own behaviors against Skills. It's like, am I doing the wrong thing or the right things here? I think you just got to match up against Skill pound for pound. I'm going to be relentless, just as relentless as you are.
And if there is a player that is more than capable of doing that, I do think it is Fitizen. Both of these two veterans of fighting games, been around the scenes for their respective games for a long, long time. Fitizen going all the way back to Street Fighter 4 days.
Yes.
And of course, Skill, known for his incredible Soul Calibur, really.
You know, Akubo's happy that Skill is here, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. The silence here. I don't like silence. I like noise. Let's hear it for this next set here as they get warmed up. See, it is the pump fake, right? It wasn't the actual match startup. I got you pump fake, though. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that terrifying matchup. Again, it looks like we're probably going to start out with this Beatrix here. I'd love to see Fitizen run with this Beatrix a little bit further throughout this bracket, but we'll see what the next round has in store. I could see going back to Siegfried, but I think the Siegfried pick will be once we get a little flustered in this matchup here, if that ends up happening. So if things go in Fitizen's favor, we're going to be rocking this Beatrix the entire way through. We have a lot of great call-outs here and a lot of great opportunities to kind of chase down against Soares. The fear factor begins once Skill gets in your face, which is all but inevitable at that point, right? You're trying to fight back, use some of those universal mechanics in terms of BCing away to try to get your turn back. You definitely don't want to risk too often on your DP attempts where you get some peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet. No, we are going to get noise and violence here in this losers semis versus Fitizen and Skill.
I gotta say, this crowd has been phenomenal. I thought America had energy. UK, you got a different vibe out here, and I'm loving it.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
Good job, everybody. All right. Air-to-air immediately from Skill, forcing Fitizen into the corner.
And this is the problem, right? Now you got to worry about the barrage of punches coming in from Soares. Quick 5L check, and still not going to open up. And that's the thing. The stress begins to mount because you're being chipped away so often in these corner positions. Nice lariat, full extension because your back's against the wall. But you know it's a 2v1, it's not a 1v1 in this one.
Jeez, the damage coming out from Skill as well. Monumental right there. Fitizen, even with that Delta Clock, still has quite the mountain to climb. And the trap with the H Roundhouse Fang.
We go, Star Chaser, Round Start trying to deny, but look, we say it with our chest out here, just hold on to the 5U.
Muscle Fury getting those stacks as well. If Skill ends up in dire straits, he will get that big defense boost from the SSBA, but what a whiff punish coming out from Skill.
That's the thing of it, if you're going up against an opponent that loves to whiff punish here, Beatrix has a ton of lingering hurt boxes out there that can absolutely be capitalized by a lariat like that.
Huge, goes heavy. Not quite going to get the wall bounce right there, but a bait on the throw. It's going to be a lot of damage for Fitizen, doubling up the Thunderbird and converting into Immortal Assault.
Jeez, it's unblockable. It's unblockable.
You say that, but you know Pepe blocked it.
That's so true. Built different. Built different.
He built young. He's a young man. These two, both over 30. They're not reacting. I say that, but Citizen, they're both actually really good at reacting. It's not really fair, to be honest.
You can't have it all.
Yeah.
Jeez, nice jump in, though. Unfortunately, not going to get that anti-air off the heavy, but this time around, got the dash light, full corner combo.
Yeah, we're going to go into the U Thunderbird. Ender wants to manage that meter economy as well as he can.
Oh no, got opened up off the low here. Still able to BC away. Overhead triple attack.
A little ambitious right there, but your mid-screen, you're not going to take too much damage, but you'll gradually, if your fit isn't getting chipped into that range, where down to clock is a factor.
Launcher here. We got one more Raging Strike, and there's the finish. Game up for Skill.
Very, very close first game. Really could have gone either way. A solid hit from Fitizen would have been enough to close out that game on the other side, but will he be able to maintain that composure going into this game too?
It's that ambition you were talking about too, right? Of just that EX ride free. I know you're so close to the cusp of victory there, but sometimes you got to wait for those actual openings, those opportunities to really get that kill. But the stagger pressure again coming from Skill. There we go. Waits just a moment. Finally gets that dash L out of the Muscle Fury.
Useful delay on that dash light right there. These two just swinging, trying to get these preemptive whiff punishes. Potential counter pokes, but not finding their marks.
There's our late tech. Another one here. We'll take them. That's a little bit of damage on our side, but the reversal coming through.
Magnificent reaction right there. And that time actually taking the BP, knowing that because Sora's advances with a lot of his skills, that leaves him right in your face most of the time.
Launch as much damage as we can here. BC away out of the corner. It's not going to matter anymore. We spin it back, and nice 2L. Fitizen with the finish.
Very, very nice. I'm actually kind of shocked that Fitizen didn't go for something like an M Thunderbird bait to bait out the delay mash, but what he did right there worked perfectly in the situation that it came through.
Oh no.
Expected Skill to extend further with the pressure, and as a result, you're going to take so much damage. Goes for a second DP. You gotta stay brave, you gotta stay bold, and the Delta Clock allows you to do that, but the answer with the 623H.
Here it is, that distance, right? We're goading into position here. That's gonna get you to commit to a dash, which opens you up to these opportunities, and Skill will take a round.
Thought even on the minus frames of the 2M that he was in a range where he could potentially stuff an approaching 6XL, but it was not enough. Skill able to take that round back.
Slides here again, another lariat, opened up low again. These 5Ls, tricky to deal with on the side of Sora's.
Huge jump for Fitizen right there. Skill not quite in time to get the anti-air. All of the cooldowns are back, but instead, once again, the U Thunderbird.
Oh, mistimed the media on that first round, but then tries it again. That gives an open opportunity for Skill to get that reversal.
Doubling up the M Thunderbird. That's the BC coming out from Skill. Both these two, one hit away. What a magnificent SBA once again. Look at all that damage. 50% boost.
See here, trying to sink it in. Hey, you know what? Let's go for the BC with the back throw. This could be a problem.
One more.
It's definitely a problem. It's a real problem.
What magnificent patience coming out from Skill. Just had complete control in that offensive situation. It looked so in Fitizen's favor, but the throw really changed everything.
That just immediately ruined it. You know, back throw incident, as we look to call it out here. But as we go into this game number 3, let's see if Fitizen can change fate. Believe in victory, as they say. Oh, dash up, but still, that Muscle Fury, get off of me.
Yeah, this 2-0 so far, not indicative of how close, how down to the wire this set has been so far. All of these upcoming games could easily swing in either player's favor. Skill going for the spot dodge, maybe expecting a BC, but actually got the hit there.
Knock here. Just trying to chip away at least the Star Chaser. The interrupts a 5L potential here if Skill decides to open up.
Yeah, we're seeing Fitizen go for those far lights so often so that he can try to intercept these defensive approaches from Skill. Now hammering that block with the 6XL.
I'm waiting for that DP. I'm waiting for it coming from Skill. I know it's going to be there, but dash light is the start anyways. Raging Chain, just get back to this mid-screen. Not quite going to kill yet.
Guess the wall bounce there could have capitalized even further. The 0 BP on the side of Skill. He has to be careful of any errant hit, but the H Impact Knuckles, excuse me, is going to take that space and put Skill on the set point.
Couple heavy swings. No whip punishes, though. Oh my goodness! Oh no!
That was so smart from Skill. Citizen tried to DP to catch the reactive muscles, but he didn't even go for it there.
This time around, Dash Light still on this corner, committed to the heavy.
Unfortunate right there for Citizen, not close enough to get the close medium, but another reaction SPA. Citizen, you cannot test him.
It's 2M clash. Yeah, awkward position, no throw opportunity there. Could have DP, but as often as we've been punished off of him, we probably don't want to risk that.
Gets too well out. Huge neutral jump again. Citizen's so good with these jumps so far. That's going to lead to a lot of damage. He may go for a U Thunderbird Ender even though it's on cooldown. No, wants to keep the cooldown, get it as back as fast as possible.
All right, last ditch effort here. We're about to get that super meter. Uses it for ult. Chip away. This last hit either side. The ride free is full send, and that is a punish. Skill shuts down the run of Citizen today.
Yeah, he tried to catch that backdash, tried to catch the retreat. He knew that Skill wanted to back off to create that space. Unfortunately, not quite quick enough to be able to catch him right there. And was able to block in time. Skill going to advance on to the losers finals. Well, get its run back versus Saki.
Gosh, you know, the what if scenario. Like, what if we did ult ride free instead to catch a little bit of the slowdown to maybe catch that, you know, escape route that Skill had happened to go for. It's so many possibilities here in those final neutral scenarios here, but Skill looking hot right now. As we get into this next match here, Saki steps up to the arena.
Yeah, that big 3-0 finish, definitely the momentum that you want going into a run back like this. Saki, of course, taking it 3-1 last time with the Charlotta, but I know Skill wants to try to make his way to Grand, try to get that set versus space.
Yeah, traditionally, this has been one of those sets, right, where Saki had initially started out with Catalina before in previous tournaments, but I think Saki said enough is enough. I got to go full bore here with the Charlotta to try and succeed just like we did in that 3-1 start and see if we can return the favor one more time to get back in that grand final rematch.
Sometimes the best way to fight against a powerhouse silverback gorilla is with a smaller silverback gorilla.
That's the precision that comes in here. Get the button check, Lowains.
Pretty sure that was Toon.
That I guarantee that was Tunington.
Yeah.
Tunington, are you screaming up there?
That's a yes.
That was a yes. I get to hear Tunington live instead of seeing Tunington in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh.
Popping off for the Lowain button check and the, what was that, the Lowain theme, I think?
Sure is. Quick snap. Look at this beautiful crowd here at Versus Fighting. Let's hear it.
Truly here for the love of the game. Shout out to the Welsh flag as well. Even when they're not playing in top 8, they've managed to get Lowain into top 8. That's a real skill. You guys are actually mad impressive.
All the Lowains tried, but then Wilness pulled up.
Where's the parfait, Saki? This is how you know he's not a true Lowain player.
Luck is
He
not on your
has not
side.
gotten a single parfait so far. There we go. There we go. Oh, he got the double spaghetti after the parfait. Maybe he is a Lowain player.
His skill walking on over there. Enough snacks.
Mealtime is over.
I gotta say, having this screen, having this auditorium is a grand experience. You guys get this every year? That's nice.
Yeah. Wow, this is the
No,
first.
not every
This
year.
is the first year we've got it for Granblue.
Oh. You know what? Well deserved.
You chose a good year to come.
So, yeah, you know what? It's convinced me to come back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all kept apologizing to me coming over. I'm like, why y'all apologize? This is in Canada.
Well, we got the ferry theme this time. You know, I really appreciate that we've been getting a lot of switch-ups in the music. You know, people, our competitors have been engaged with our audience. You know, they've been making some noise for the themes.
Y'all got to bring the signs next year, okay? Make sure you get the emotes out in the crowd.
Believe in victory. Battle
All right, losers finals, folks. Let's give it up for our losers finals in here. The lariat to come through again. Ooh, the heavy. Nice little counter hit to start things off. The BC away, though. Saki does not want to be bullied, and I don't blame him. But these just blocks here, you called it out earlier. The just blocks from skill to get that quick build on resources, all the more threatening. Even on defense, we are being active.
Oh, lovely interception with the 6XL right there. Not quite going to get the wall bounce. Doesn't choose to extend with the U noble strategy either. Wants to keep that meter potentially for an SBA confirm.
Right. The threat of both characters here. You got the lariat on one side. Oh!
Wow, held that for as long as possible.
2M. Soares is deceivingly tall, actually. 5'9".
Those buttons of his, those legs, powerful. Beautiful reaction to the M impact knuckles right there. The DP this time actually going for the light one. Crushing, and that's actually a really good option for Saki in that situation. If skill doesn't go for a fast enough option, that will crush anything that skill presses.
BC, oh, what a 2L, taking her turn.
Again, these neutral jumps, we saw this so much in the first set, working out so well for Saki to be able to intercept those impact knuckles, his approaches from skill, and we're going to get the full Raging Strike dump to even up the rounds.
Saki taking charge. Tied up in hello?
Counterpoking the 6XL approach with that far medium straight away, knowing that Saki wanted to get in.
All right, Flurry got that BC. My turn. I'm tired of waiting. All right, nice. Could have had a full punish off that lariat.
Yeah, a little bit early on the press of the jump aerial, so not able to get them confirmed into the far medium right there. In a bit of a dangerous spot now, 1 BP to his name, and is going to spend it for the corner-to-corner carry, using that meter, using that brave point. Wants his corner control, but it's going to be wrenched away from him immediately with skills UDP.
Lariat for corner, though. I'm so scared of this corner position, and I can't imagine the pressure you're feeling on the side of Saki, who does get opened up. Could have been far worse, but out of brave points. I mean, look, we're dead on this next touch. What do we do?
What do we do indeed? The 6XL finds its mark. The chip damage is piling. Yeah. And yeah, the desperation SSBA beautifully weighted out, but too slow on the punish.
Okay, wait a minute. Yes, you had to spot dodge because you would have taken the lariat. That would have been round regardless. Saki had to get creative on defense.
Yeah, that was an absolute checkmate situation. He didn't have Holy Ladder accessible to react to that cancel, and the spot dodge obviously minus enough to get punished by the throw afterwards. Great stuff to skill right there.
I mean, I was starting to believe. After the DP off the super, oh my goodness.
Battle 1. Engage.
All right, but as they say, once again, believe in victory. Even when you're down to a chip scenario, you still have a chance. And Saki believes.
Oh. Wow, gets the back hit of that, but willing to go for another jump. Again, these jumps have been doing so much for Saki, as is, you know, what you would expect from Charlotta.
Punch.
A good spot dodge right there. That could have potentially been a whip punish, actually. Ooh. There's the adaptation right there. Using the U impact knuckles, the armor on that to be able to anti-air right there. And look, once again, that huge grown man damage.
And you see how long it's been since skill last used the alt lariat, right? Like, that has just been a factor that you're not thinking about that skill until the very final moments here where it really matters and skill does come out on the round. Nice 5U. Nice that cross up, but these just guards coming from skill every time.
Nice 6XL right there. Gonna get the wall bounce, get that full conversion, using the U noble strategy to get as much damage as possible. And there is one of the first throws we've seen from Saki so far. Good block on the double overhead. That is something susceptible. That is something that can catch the taller characters in the game. Soares is just tall enough to be caught by it.
Away again, though. Hands out. I can't believe it. This is the most just guard I've ever seen in a set of Granblue. I'll be real. Still Still trying to chip away. All the resources are there on the side of Skill here, but we're looking for that one moment of opportunity because Saki just has the exact same advantage here because of the Brave points being down. That's a round.
Yeah, constant back and forth in terms of taking their turns in that middle of the screen. It really just came down to who actually got that first opening. Saki, the one able to find it there.
The dash light again. Wow. What a call out though, it's that run up, right? That very brief window of opportunity. Skill puts up that barrage. Nice helm splitter.
Once again, the light Holy Ladder, such a good tool for Charlotta. Very low risk option overall.
Anti-air just backs off, wasn't ready.
Now, because of backing off there, Saki's forfeiting a lot of that space. That EX ball gonna get the punish, and a beautiful check with the 2M. Skill now up 2-0.
Yeah, that is certainly the thing of it, right? We were giving up so much space. We didn't have the life lead to, kind of allow for it to take that gamble as we back off towards a disadvantage situation. Having so much room for Skill to just keep bullying, and potentially the final game for Saki.
Crowd erupting in cheers for both players. Huge fan favorites among the community, well loved.
Back on the east side. Yeah, now got that lariat. Backing off here, dash light. Really awkward angle to try to go for an anti-air, so respect just the block from Skill.
Oh, wow. Okay, just goes for the dash light punish. Could have punished with something a little bit bigger had he been able to react a little bit faster. But still, you'll take what you can get, and that is very solid damage regardless. Plus frames after the noble strategy.
Okay. Coming with the clash. Yes.
Lingering enough, the far light able to connect. Saki this time taking the first round. Here in Losers Finals, Game 3.
Dash like the aggression starting out here for Skill. Build up as much meter as we can. Steals back the turn with that DP, and what a conversion here for Skill.
Yeah, so much damage, and using the Holy Ladder to beat out that meaty, able to react to the meaty rock smash.
The chase down begins. Trying to maintain this mid screen here is Saki, or at the very least try to get the corner of their own. Whoa, no.
Wow, catches the jump this time with the close medium, leading into a full conversion.
Or jump out. Just jump out the same way.
Hopscotch.
Wow.
Leapfrog. Oh, gets the counter on the far light, doesn't convert into the far medium though. Tries to go for the command grab. That would have been a huge conversion for Saki. There's a chip, and again, just going for these jumps, trying to stay elusive, but it's not enough. Skill now at set point.
Go. Ooh, trying to get that big heavy poke. Stagger pressure again for this corner. Tries to get the spin out and does try to BC away and Skill too far.
Again, that punish on that H ball. The pressure is piling, the damage is mounting. Skill with all the control, with all the damage, and the final blow to take it out. Getting his run back versus Saki with a clean 3-0 finish.
Absolutely marvelous play from Skill, quite the run back at least, considering that winner's side match between these two. But I mean, time and time again, these two have crossed paths. Skill comes out on top, and let's still give it up for Saki, folks. An excellent run at VSFighting XIII.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful play throughout that entire bracket coming out from Saki. Of course, at this point, it's essentially an expectation from Saki to make it to this top 3 territory every time. He's such a consistent, such a backbone of the European scene, and it's an absolute pleasure to see him constantly succeed.
Always. Absolutely. It is definitely a great series of events here to see Saki come this far. And again, like you said, it's that staple that you end up seeing Saki make it to this position here. But again, I feel like we're still hungry for more, right?
Yes.
Hungry to try to take that next step up the ladder, right? To try to take on Skill, take it to the next level here as Skill is taken down now Fiddison, now Saki, and rises up into this grand finals. It's space versus skill. That was the one missing factor out of crossover last weekend. Skill was not in that bracket, or at least not in that top 8.
Not in the way of space, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah. That was the factor
bracket.
of it all. I was like, interesting, because everything else settled down the same way up until now. Space and skill rising up for this grand finals.
Most likely, once again, going to be seeing a Beatrix versus Soros matchup. Yep, as we saw before. Although, again, if things are in dire straits for Space, we may see the Cagliostro come out. It is a very highly trained sub-character for him,
Yeah.
as we saw in his set versus Citizen earlier.
It's kind of a great pick against Soros as well, right? You're able to kind of maintain a lot of that linear space that Soros so often wants to control. And having those low hexes be great little interrupts. You're going to have to separate your attention span a little bit, right? Between like the low traps that you have to kind of deal with. You'll see often that you see a lot of quick 2Ls come from Soros and try to open up that opportunity to go for those lariats. And of course 5H, tremendous button for Cagliostro in this matchup if we end up seeing it here. But Beatrix, also a great character in this matchup, right? Trying to contend in a lot of that mid-screen space, the neutral game, very quick 5L interactions.
Yep. Yeah, lots and lots of fast-paced interactions between these two characters. It's really going to depend on who is able to wrangle that momentum and who is able to establish their offense.
Skill has showcased time and time again that there is no lack of offensive presence coming from his play. So we'll see if Space can continue this momentum that they've had from crossover. Who likes Space in this matchup, huh? We got a handful of Space fans. What about Skill? Let me hear for Skill. Jesus.
Wow. The crowd knows who they think is going to win, who they want to win. Now, you know, as a completely selfless commentator here on the desk. Now, I know that we've been hearing a variety of music tracks. No, never mind. Not even going to have the chance. Not even going to have the chance. All right, grand finals here between Space and Skill. Can we make some noise here for VSF? Wonderful.
Ascending higher and higher we go. I gotta double check on the points that Skill owns, right? This might actually replace one of the victories that he's had in a previous bracket here. Again, you're only keeping your best 3 scores for gold qualifying events.
Yep, particularly since this is a gold plus event.
Yeah, that's true.
Those points mean all the more. So far, real back and forth between these two. Space on its last Brave point, though. Huge damage even just from those 2 hits, but immediately challenging back. Gonna get the full conversion into the Savior Unleashed.
Not spending a Brave point at all on it here. That's a great follow-up. It was relatively grounded. Actually, I hope we don't come to regret it.
Are you kidding? What? He woke up with, wow, to cover both the 5U and the run-up throw. He wakes up with 2-2U to beat. What a start.
I was going to say, I hope you don't come to regret that you didn't spend a Raging Strike before you sent that super, and yeah, you might regret that one.
My goodness. That extra high health of Soros, the 17k paying dividends for that. The round reversal, beautiful conversion into the new Impact Knuckles, stuffing it out though with the Star Chaser.
Attack. Oh no! Too far. One of the rare instances where Beatrix misses a 5L punish. Either way, we still have a Delta block.
Yeah, that option is -8 now on blocks of Beatrix, and that's actually quite crucial in this matchup. She can punish with 2M, which is something that she couldn't do before. Oh, with a low profile, and again, beautiful stuff right there. Ready for the defensive 6XL, going under with the riding free.
Nice cross under here. Moment hesitation, and doesn't come back to bite Space for that one.
Undeterred from the defensive 6XL is Skill, still going for them, wants to establish his offense.
All right, nice. A little bit of Star Chaser.
Yeah, that's a very common thing. You know, you block that H Star Chaser, you You're expecting Beatrix to run in and maintain that offense, but that's such a good option for space right there. Delta clock conversion, get the corner hits, go straight into the skybound arts.
Well, interaction here, you get a significant combo. This should be victory for space, but also install.
Get a little bit of that HP back thanks to the buffs as well.
Oh,
Catching him asleep at the wheel, the ever so slight, the minute delay on that H riding free is gonna stamp that first game for space here in Grand Finals.
All right. The threats were certainly there. I was surprised we went for install at the end right there. I thought maybe we'd just go for SSBA just to apply the damage, stripping a couple break points away here. But Skill, I guess, wanted the quick cycle, like you said, the health buff here for every stock that you have, up to 30% back.
Well, in order for Soros in order for Soros to do his SSBA, he needs to be in install.
So true. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, lovely delay again with the 6XL space. Just absolute masterclass at playing that game. Get that hard knockdown, of course.
See away again. Right back at it here. Wants to hold the corner. Go for heavy. Whoa, what a lariat.
Of course, the H Impact Knuckles closing that space a lot faster than the 6XL does. So maybe not having the time to be able to react with the riding free. Speaking of which, gets the conversion there. Into the Macho Ultimatum.
Nice, got our 2M. Massive flurry.
Bullet into the corner, and now, oh, space trying to anti-hit with the close heavy right there. So close on the mark. Massive counter poke right there. All the damage coming through. Skill taking that first round.
Well played here, and a great amount of time to utilize that install. There it is, the far M once again. Just a little bit off that back special, nothing too fancy.
Wow, whiff on the throw, but not actually punished in that situation.
We got more. Nice. Does get the punish here. Now that we have this corner, we're getting that full extension. Not going for the Thunderbird finish.
Wow, the throw coming out from Skill. BC into the UDP.
Final brave point here on the side of space. That's a big comeback potential here for Skill if you get a strike, and we certainly do off the ultimate lariat.
Gorgeous whiff punish right there from Skill. The way that he uses these mediums from Soros, but a massive jump from space. He's gonna build the 100 meter here for the SSBA as well. Extend with the RS. Go into the Savior Unleashed. That should be another round for space right here.
Win yourself some neutral. You're gonna win yourself some rounds here. Let's go for space another round.
Battle 3. Engage.
Oh my goodness, nice. And like you mentioned here, that 2M becoming a new factor here to guarantee that punish.
Plus frames, pummeling on that block. Beautiful delay jump coming out from Skill to avoid that. But this time the throw coming through for space. There's the 5U, nothing is forever.
You see now the threat of Delta Clock. We armored through. Nice spot dodge on the lariat there. Full combo extension. Not quite going to kill off this routing, but does set ourselves up for a final touch.
Big BC for Skill, desperately needed that, desperately needed the reprieve, and now has some damage on the table as well. Ooh, again, great counter poke.
2M here. Oh my goodness gracious. Throwing it out there, trying to steal back the potential of a lariat at best, or maybe just a challenge with a dash light. We've seen that a lot from Skill.
Skill wisely backing off instead, knowing the health that he was at, didn't want to overcommit to anything, didn't want to take his turn unnecessarily, and as a result, able to even up the set so far.
Battle 1. Engage.
Oh my goodness, the counter hit, and let's get that carry for corner. Had to stop short because there was already that launcher there, so combo limit maximizes rather quickly.
Massive jump out the corner coming out from Skill, and this is going to be such a high reward conversion as a result. Keeping a lot of his cooldowns intact, well, at least keeping the Impact Knuckles cooldown intact. Stuffing out that U-Star Chaser attempt.
Okay, deep run up though. Let's get DP'd away. Back special already down and out, BC away.
difficult for Space now. Low on VP, only 1 to his name. Gonna get the wall bounce there. Not quite in range for the SSBA, unfortunate for him, but still gonna get that VP back, take one away from Skill as well. What's the option here?
DJH in the 5U, just Beatrix things.
Even after it was jumped previously in that same round, Space undeterred, still willing to go for that big 5U.
It's a different mental at that point, right? Because now you're at that final touch, so a strike or throw would have killed there, and you're just kind of locked into, I'm going to tech. That's kind of where I'm looking.
Yep. Just the way that Beatrix's cooldown cycles so well.
Oh, goodness.
DC into DP, you can do. I can do anything you can do.
Oh, try to get the 2H with the Thunderbird too quick. It might have worked if it was the medium at the least.
Maybe a huge whiff punish right there. Raw! You impact like this, the damage that comes out, monumental. The skill right here. And again, the whiff punish.
Can't be leaving hurt boxes out like that. And that 5H is really detrimental, right? Like, as long as you get that block, you're gonna be fine. But if you leave that hurt box lingering, character like Soares will certainly capitalize.
Nice catch on the back dash, extending that city tail a little bit further to be able to catch in the corner now.
Oh, the shimmy opens up off the throw. Big combo route. We can strip if we want to, just to get that breakpoint away.
Yeah, shift the BP economy back into Space's favor after that BC earlier on.
Low here. Quick challenge from Skill back to the mid-screen. Good patience from Space.
Space being incredibly aggressive on defense, and it worked beautifully in his favor this time round. 2-1 up now for Space here in Grand Finals.
No rush to get to this next game. Still a lot on the line here. Take a moment to hydrate before we get to this next one here. We're locked in on the side of Space at the very least. Space a single game away from scoring even higher in their Arc World Tour qualifications. Go back to the character select here. It's just a matter of time before Skill jumps back into the fray.
Yeah, it's keeping it, slowing it down a little bit, getting his composure. Now I would, no, never mind.
You would?
Yeah, I would, but I don't get a say here. They're too locked in. They're too ready to simply play.
Just walk, excuse me, I need to look at the music, please. Can I just, one quick second, let me change it up.
Believe in victory.
Parade's lost here in the Grand Finals. Could this be the final game here at VSF 13 for Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising, or will Skill be able to make the comeback?
BC wants to maintain the offense here. Nice little delay before we get our throw. Delay again, trying to find the counter hit off the heavy.
Once again, another BP spent on the side of Space. Using that U-Star Chaser again, and 5U. I think any solid hit from that is going to deal a lot. It's twice now that Skill has gone for that H roundhouse fang immediately after the 5U. Will we see a potential bait next time?
Dash light though. A little bit more patience coming from Space. We know that we are in such a dangerous position with no brave points here, but Skill even more dangerous with this massive round start.
Space fearless right now, not being tempered even at 0 BP, willing to challenge and setting himself up for a potential tournament victory here.
There we go. Massive. UC out again. I swear, Space goes down to 0 Brave Force before Skill does. At some point, something's gonna give.
Plus frames on the U Thunderbirds, solid amount of chip damage as well. Good tech.
All right, nice interrupt on the back special here with a DP and just outside the range of Skill's own DP to get that Star Chaser.
OBC this time gets the count hit this one. Space gradually building that meter, gets the conversion off the far light. Killing straight to SBA, yep. Knew that he got the air hit, had to keep the combo short, didn't want to use the fireball. Do or die now for Skill. There's the install, he's close though.
He gets a 6XL, and that is gonna be it. Space is your VSF 13 champion.
Well done, a victory for Space, overcoming the beast that is Skill.
The Dutch Titan here getting a huge victory, back-to-back performances at these European Gold events. Gold plus here even for VSF, so that is 200 points to Space's name.
And that is going to be a significant jump in the rankings there for Space as well, as it still gets tallied out, right? A very quick scoring here. The last time it was updated was August 3rd, but we've already had our crossover event, which added more points into the fray. Of course, Space winning that last one, and now winning this. I think you're looking pretty good for some Arc World Tour positioning here. I think we might see you in Korea.
Looking very good indeed. Of course, Space was able to make his way in the previous Arc World Tour finals. In fact, all 4 of our top 4 competitors at VSF were the Arc World Tour finalists at EVO.
Yeah.
EVO at Arc World Tour last year.
Tour,
not EVO. None of them were at EVO.
None of them were at EVO.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, so they're still showing up and showing out here with these qualifications on the line. And there's still plenty more events along the way. Of course, we do have some silver events along the line here. And of course, EVO France going to be a platinum qualifier, one of the last few platinum qualifiers out here, because I think there's one more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, UFA before then in
Yes.
September, and of course EVO France in October. So that's where the real big points are going to be for these European tournaments.
Yeah, so again, it's been a great show of a top 8 for Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. We're going to get our competitors here in just a moment, but I want to hear it for this top 8. Y'all like that top 8, right?
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Very, very good stuff. It has been an absolute pleasure being able to commentate with you guys, being able to commentate with you, Zero.
Yes.
We didn't get a block at EVO.
Exactly.
So we get a block here on closer to my neck of the woods.
Gosh, I think the last time we got together was Paragon was the last time we got to cast together. It was one of the Paragon lines. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the 15v15s.
Yes.
So, sheesh, it's about time I came over here into the European territory. UK is my first time here. Y'all have been spectacular. This event has been great. 3 floors of gaming if y'all are curious about it. Anywhere else around the globe, be sure to check it out here. Versus Fighting has been a spectacular event. And honestly, the competition has been fierce. It does look like we have our top 8 competitors lined up to receive their rewards. Cake, give it away.
We on? Are we good? Hello. Hi, everyone. Did you enjoy that top 8? Can I get that a little bit louder? Good top 8? That's a bit better, yeah. So we got a couple of medals to hand out here for our top 8 participants. Oh, are we on? First and foremost, local competitor, one of the only 2 UK representatives left in here. Both next to each other, actually, yeah. Can we get some noise for Gideon the Great? Oh, and with the bow, too. Next up, our second remaining UK competitor. Can we make some noise for Dudikoff? Next up, moving into 5th place, traveling in from Paris. Can we make some noise for RFU? And after that, from Uruguay, traveling in from Spain, can we get some noise? El Pepe Uehara! Medal only just about going over the cap. Bringing it in with 4th. Can we get some noise? Traveling in from Germany, Fitizen! Second of the Germans, Charlotte Extraordinaire, Soki! And our final two here. Coming in once more from France. Can we get cheers in the audience? Skillful! And finally, I'm so happy, dude. From the Netherlands, can we get a massive round of applause for your VSFighting XIII champion, Space! Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along, watching. Everyone in the audience has been absolutely fantastic this entire time. Everyone watching at home, I hope you've really enjoyed this whole tournament. Can we get a nice round of applause one more time for your top 8 Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising at VSFighting? Thank you. Can we get everyone in a little bit more for a photo? Bring in a bit for a photo. Push in.
You might have to get a couple kneeling down, space go at the back.
Get some good poses in. Get some good poses. Blushes deployed.